what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Midnight Ride with graymanprepping. How's everybody doing out there? All right, I need to check some things out here real quick. That over there. Yeah, somehow I got an echo going on, so bear with me 1 second while I take care of technical difficulties. Let's see if I can do this here right. There it is. I got so many windows open, and I was hearing music. All righty, so let's just say hi to everyone for all those that are in here already. Super Scouts lurking at work or listening at work. Walt Rogers is going to be lurking. You know, Sheriff, you really shouldn't be lurking. That sounds counterintuitive there, huh? All right, CB's here. Hugo Homestead. Tennessee Bushcrafter, Joe, Garden State Gardener's in the house. Passamaquoddy's here. Scroll on down. Everybody's saying hi to each other. And Star Salazar's in the house. Hey, Ginger Ninja is in the house. Woo! All righty. I got some really interesting news articles came out. At least they're interesting to me. Some of them should be interesting to you guys. One of them has a real funny tint to it. You know, you gotta have a sense of humor, weird sense of humor for this one. And then some of them are just crap going on around in California. So let me go ahead and pull that down and get my other stuff up here. Okay, so I'm not going to show everything over here because I don't want to get dinged. There he is in the dark, hiding. Like a Force Recon. It's the Marine. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Oh, all right. I'm lying. I threw my back out. I've been a blabbering sissy for days now, crying at every opportunity. And yeah, so anyway.
Well, Steve, as someone who has 3 bulging discs, 2 protruding discs, and what my chiropractor calls a flippy-floppy disc, one of the best things that used to work for me, and believe it or not, it's one of those inversion tables you get. You kind of lay on it, you kind of flip up so your feet are up in the air a little bit. Spend about 15 minutes, no more than that on it. Bring yourself back down level. Don't get off of it for another 10 minutes, then get off of it. That's what my chiropractor would be doing. Ooh, and I can move. I'm flexible now. Tibor's in the house. Hey, Tibor. All right. I got some stuff that has to do with California here. But I'm going to start off with something that has to do with the whole country here. This coming week, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and the Moon will all be in line. If you look, let me scroll up so I can see actually the button. Okay, so if you're looking in the southeasterly direction, a little bit north of due east will be Venus. The moon will be just a little bit south of due east, followed closely by Mars and Jupiter, and then almost due south will be Saturn. So, and they're supposed to be fairly bright where you can see them without a telescope. Not up close, but you can be able to see the bright dots there. And it says, here's the problem. The best time is going to be, they can't have, this date's got to be wrong because that should have been, this just came out today and that should have been, they're talking about 45 minutes before sunrise. So if you get up early, that's what's going on out there. All right, let's see what else. Lewis is in the house. It's the Marshmallow Man. And speaking of the Marshmallow Man, I just got this 2 days ago from Amazon, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it is funnier than heck, and you got all the little marshmallow men in it. All right, let's see. Oh, the other thing from California. I'm trying. Oh, I'm not monetized, so I don't have to worry about it. Paul Pelosi, a husband of Miss Plastic Face, was arrested in Napa County. That's just above the San Francisco Bay up there, where all the wine vineyards are at. For trying to get it again he was driving his 2021 Porsche Carrera sports car on Highway 29 and Oakville Crossroads when he collided with a 2014 Jeep. Both paramedics responded, but both drivers declined medical treatment. The other driver was interviewed the next day and reported that he was starting to feel pain in his right arm, leg, shoulder, and neck. And so he reported that to the district attorney. Pelosi's blood sample was taken, and it was 0.082% alcohol. That puts him over the limit.
A little bit.
So several misdemeanor charges were filed, including driving under the influence of alcohol, causing an injury to another person, and driving with a 0.08 or higher alcohol. So he's What do you want to bet Miss Plastic Face gets involved and tries to pull strings to get charges dropped or something like that?
Oh, she won't have to pull strings. People will already be figuring out how to let him off, so that way Aunt Nancy still loves them.
Yeah. All right.
He didn't put his mugshot out until what? A week later?
Oh, hang on. Yes. Yeah, that was the mugshot was from May 29th, and they just released the article now. And so let me see if I know I got it here. I
think it was like 4 days later they finally put his mugshot out.
Yeah. So to make everybody feel good, where is it here? There it is. Here you go. You ready for it? There it is. Oh, yeah. So yes, I went and dug that up for it. And what was the other one I was looking at here? I want to get the other photo here ready. There's something else coming up here. Oh, where is it? Got Pelosi. What was the other mugshot? That mugshot was another photo here I wanted to show. Down that, okay, so if you drop down 2, it should be right. Oh, there you go. That was what I was going to show, and I forgot. All right, I'm slow. There's the one showing the. Okay, so this is what it looked like. I guess this is what it looked like this morning, and it's supposed to be even better tomorrow night. So, all right. So those are the 2 pictures I had. Now let's look at this other stuff here. Okay. I'm going to wait for that one first, but I'm going to cover some fires now. Hey, is there anything burning down there in Southern California yet?
Not yet, no.
Northern California's got a bunch going on.
Notice I said yet, so.
Yeah. All right, so Pleasanton, California, up there in the San Francisco East Bay area, has a 75. Actually, let me hit a refresh on it. It had 75 acres going several hours at 4:30 p.m. Let's see if they've updated that. Still listed at 65 acres, prompting evacuations. But it's burning between Pleasanton and Sunol, which is where the Niles Canyon Railway is. And for those of you railroad buffs, that's where the last spike was actually driven in the Transcontinental Railway at mile marker 31. Yes, I used to volunteer down there. Oh, the fire is 0% contained. What that one? And I'm just going to quickly throw up the picture here because it's on the thing. So that's what it looks like overlooking the hills there between and looking down into Pleasanton. Okay, and so there's one fire going. Last Thursday I talked about 3 others that were going on. Here's one that's just a few miles from my wife's house up there. This is burning on near Port Costa, and if you go to the left of that photo to just outside over here, you hit the city of Martinez. And so this has been taken from Benicia, the first capital the first capital of California.
Which bridge is that?
That is the Carquinez, the Carquinez Bridge.
Oh, I ain't been on that one. Okay.
Yeah, that's 80.
Okay.
All right, and let's see. I think. Wait, hang on. Let me look closer at that. No, that's not. Sorry, that's the Benicia Bridge, the Martinez Benicia Bridge. No, it can't be. It's going that way. That's got to be the Carquinez Bridge. All right. So that fire is this one here. When I first brought it up, was at 20 acres. At 4:36 Pacific time, it was at 50 acres. I'm gonna hit refresh because they're updating this one, and 0% contained at 65 acres. So, yeah. All right. The next thing here is, Steve, you can chime in on this one. I don't know if you heard what's going on. And I froze. Here's the headline. I'm pissed about this headline. Quote, dangerous decision, CA gun law is vulnerable with Supreme Court ruling. And then the subheading is the U.S. Supreme Court made it a little easier for Americans to conceal weapons. Here's what the ruling means for California and what the great nuisance says. Oh, sorry, I added that in. The great nuisance says. But
respect. That is Lord Newsom.
No, it's the great nuisance. Yeah. So it was a 3-6 decision, and it's being celebrated by. And here's what it says: the 3-6 decision was celebrated by gun rights activists, not citizens, not American citizens, but activists. And it ruled that the New York state law violated the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, I've been talking to folks about that one all day ever since it came out. Yeah, it's a good thing all the way around for everybody because they're slowly. How do I want to say it? They're slowly affirming that the Second Amendment is like real.
Mm-hmm.
That it's actually a thing. So,
and it's not something for some guys that were coming back from hunting in 1776.
Right. And I know there's been some cases coming out of California, the magazine ban, the pistol roster, the having to turn our rifles into some weird monstrosities. They've all been waiting for this case and one other case, I think. But anyway, this one's going to have far-reaching repercussions, and they should all be good.
Yeah. And hopefully they will say that the red flag laws are totally illegal.
Well, all right. So I'm gonna annoy people with this one.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people that are complaining about the red flag laws don't understand the red flag laws.
Yeah. I know the theory behind it could be a good thing if it was done right with more restrictions on it.
Right. Well, no, there are a bunch of restrictions.
Steve froze this time.
So, no, I stopped moving. Most people that are talking about it haven't read it. Now, we've had red flag laws here in California for a while now. Mm-hmm. And the short version is your neighbor can't call and say they feel threatened by you and as soon as they call 911, the SWAT team's not going to roll up and kick your front
Right.
door in and come take your stuff. That's a urban myth. And every time they've done one of these laws, they specify who can call it, under what circumstances they can do it, and they have to go before a judge and a bunch of other stuff first. And then here's the one that most people don't get. A restraining order, just a plain old restraining order, does the same thing a red flag does.
Now, I know you've paid more attention to the laws there and stuff than I have. What is the what do you think is the, what's the word I'm looking for? Crap, I can't think of the fancy word for it. A wife gets pissed at her husband and says, I feel threatened because my husband has all these guns here and stuff. Can you come get them?
So, okay, so my ex-wife got a restraining order on me, and I didn't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had a conversation, and she begins to tell me that I have to do everything that she says because there's a restraining order on me. And I say, excuse me, what are you talking about? And to give you guys the short version, I showed up at the marshal's office and said, can I have my restraining order? And they went, wow, in 30 years of doing this, nobody's ever came and asked for it. I said, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. So the order said I was supposed to turn my weapons in and stay so many feet away and all this other craziness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do any of that. Went into court, and I just asked the judge a simple question. Are you taking my Second Amendment rights away because she said I'm mean to her? I didn't have a lawyer with me or nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, my restraining order said I couldn't go inside her mom's house and I could carry guns. Because in order for the order to stick,
Mm-hmm.
they have to have proof, right?
Right.
So the way it works in most, not all, I'm sure some are different, and somebody will run out and anyway say, no, you were wrong. Like, okay, great. I'm not a freaking lawyer. The way it should work is somebody says, and it has to be a certain person. It has to be like your spouse. It has to be like your pastor's a field. Your mental health professional, someone like that. It can't just be your neighbor. It has to say, hey, this dude and or lady, just to not be sexist, is talking crazy and doing crazy and something needs to happen. Well, just like a warrant, they have to go to a judge and say, hey, here's what we got. They're saying this person is being a lunatic and we need to do the red flag law thing. So they say, the judge says, yeah, that's good. You guys got it. Go handle it. They'll take the weapons. And in most cases, it's 24 to 48 hours, I believe. They have to have a hearing and they go in and say, okay, what is going on? What's this? What's that? Da, 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 da. And they figure it out. And I know the part everybody's on is you don't have, they can't just come take your stuff. Yeah, no, I get that. But guess what? A restraining order, or what did T-War write in there? A protection order does the exact same thing. Yeah. So a lot of this red flag law stuff is just to make the anti-gun people feel like something's being done.
Yeah.
And other folks are just biting at it. And it's like, okay, cool. I get what you're saying, but do yourself a favor and go look it up.
Get and the facts. Won't.
Yeah. Oh, facts. Oh, yeah. Remember, I got to watch my mouth. Yeah. No, we can't have facts. Okay. Remember that on YouTube, facts are unimportant. It's your feelings and what gets you clicks. Okay.
And who yells the loudest.
Yeah. And who yells the loudest. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, so anyone interested in what the ruling is and more stuff on it, you can look up what the ruling is, that you can actually get the decision that they wrote on it. So you can read up on it and become informed. And then have all your anti-gun friends yell at you.
Yeah. No, until they tell me I can walk around with a pistol on my hip in California and nobody can say anything to me, I won't be happy.
Right.
Well, because I was in Georgia one time and we walked into Walmart and everybody had pistols and we like stopped like, and it was funny as heck. Somebody said, "You guys aren't from here, huh?" We're like, "No, we've never seen people just walking around with guns."
You're like, "Ooh, I'm in Nirvana."
Yeah.
Hey, Carol, how's it going? So, so that's, those are the kind of things I had here to lead off with. Let me go check my other headlines that I didn't actually bring up the articles for here. Down to the patch. Plenty of things. Pelosi. Two East Bay wildfires going there. Carquinez wildfire. Oh, the other one. Oh, I didn't bring this one up, but I'm just going to, we're not going to delve into this one. We're just going to have a little chuckle at it and move on. Contra Costa County, that's where my wife lives up in Northern California. And Bay Area officials urge awareness regarding monkeypox. Here is the statistical fact. Prior to this year's outbreak of it, all the other years, every outbreak since it was first discovered, every single person who had it had contact with a contaminated animal. Now it's, nobody has contact with contaminated animals, which is BS because the one person was over there in Nigeria and had contact and came back. But they're saying he didn't. And everyone else is saying, other agencies say, yeah, he did. So the news is saying no. The agencies are saying yes. But so anyways, yeah. So we're going to move on now away from the monkeys. Cheetah and Tarzan, see you guys later. Steve, how's your garden doing?
Oh, all right. I got beans growing that I guess I'm just gonna let stay on there until they dry out on the thing. And then my corn isn't growing as fast as I think it's supposed to, but I don't know. I've been pulling up potatoes. I'm leaving the sweet potatoes in there. And then I got, what are the beans the vine ones? They're not bush beans. They're called something else.
Pole beans.
Pole beans. Yeah, they weren't going up the corn because I guess I didn't plant them at the right times or whatever. I won't point any fingers at anybody that told me when to plant them. Palmetto. Yeah. So that didn't quite work. So I took some other wooden stake things I got and drove those in there to try to give them something to climb up, but they're not climbing up it. I don't know why. First time I've grown them. Yeah. And then I took some wire. Me and a boy went. We got some wire, and I put a ring around the miner's lettuce that I was growing from that seed vault thing I had, just to see if I can keep the squirrels from eating it all because they've been having fun eating that. And then let's see, my grapes are going absolutely crazy. They're climbing up in the trees, and I got grapevines sticking out like 30 feet above the ground now. So I'm gonna have to, when my back isn't messed up, I'm gonna have to go up there and cut those things out.
On grapes, we actually got a book, several books on growing grapes and stuff. One about arbors, but the interesting one we got is the big way they do it in England. They plant them next to the big old trees and let it grow up in the trees. And that way it spreads out enough and they get a lot of grapes on it.
That won't screw the tree up? Okay. I don't know. I was thinking it was going to screw the trees up because
it's not as dense as a lot of ivies and stuff. Okay. Ivies just totally block out light and everything else. Yeah. And as an ivy climbs the tree, it puts roots into the bark.
Oh, okay.
Where the grape doesn't do that.
Yeah. And then let's see. The one tree I thought was going to die actually has fruit things growing on it. I'm looking in the dark where it's at, like I can see it. I think it's a lemon tree. I'm not sure yet. And then the 3 trees I planted, they are still growing. What else? Let's see. I found out something odd. all the dirt got super hard and the water wasn't going in. So I had to go buy some more dirt to put on top so it would actually soak the water in.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. That was weird. Just one day, all of a sudden, the ground just wasn't taking any water. I was like, what the hell? So I
Yeah.
broke some stuff up and put it in there and did all that hoo-yah. But
Several of the guys, when you get the ground gets hard like that and doesn't want to break up, some of the amendments, you just go to Sam's Club and get the box of Epsom salt, and you just sprinkle a little Epsom salt lightly out over the area, and and it'll start breaking up the soil enough where the water can get into it.
the salt does it by itself?
It's not salt. Epsom salt
Yeah,
is
I know what Epsom salt is. Yeah.
It'll start doing that if you add fast acting gypsum from Home Depot or Lowe's. I think Lowe's here has the better price.
Yeah.
And you sprinkle a little bit of that out there on it. And then the other thing you can add to it, come on, brain, I just had a brain fart. I had it on the tip of my tongue here. Epsom salts. Oh, perlite. Perlite is something that absorbs water.
Yeah.
And if you mix in the surface of it, some perlite in the surface, and when you water it retains water a little bit longer and keeps it from hardening up.
Hey, so how to garden?
Oh yeah. Biochar. You can add biochar. If Howie was in here, Howie would be talking about biochar, and you can make biochar yourself.
I've been trying to do what Howie said. He actually sent me a card a couple of years ago. I've been using on the layering. I don't know how he says it, but the layering of the dirt underneath and everything. So I've been doing all that. So biochar, that's just burnt wood, right?
Well, it's burnt wood that in sort of like a vacuum type thing. Basically, you take like a trash can, get a bunch of boards in there, get the fire going, put the lid on, and just let it smolder.
Like how you make sorry, I got a bug on my screen.
Yeah, charcoal.
Like you make charcoal or you make char cloth. Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly, but the biochar is you break it up smaller pieces, so you just kind of sprinkle it on.
Yeah. Okay.
Small pieces. Toothpick, like old wooden match size.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And it also drives certain bugs nuts because they don't like crawling across it.
But no, the garden's doing good. I mean, for me, it's all about learning. Yeah. So I'm learning, and I know that it's going to take me at least 2 years to get the dirt going good, because that's what it took me at the old place. I mean, the dirt here is different. The old house had more clayish dirt after like 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff, man, it's just all rocks. But interesting enough, the pumpkin seeds that I just threw up, I keep looking over there like I can see it at the top, man, they're growing. And I barely I literally took a handful of potting soil and put them in there just to see, just as an experiment. And they're growing good. So I added some more to that. And then I'm trying the same trick with some potatoes and stuff just to see what happens. So, but yeah, it's going good. Like I said, I probably got half a bag of potatoes out of the ground so far.
Cool. You're now a homesteader. You're growing your own food. Yeah, Steve, I'm absolutely so happy to hear how well your garden's doing down there.
No, and dude, I honestly owe that to people on YouTube, like Howie, big time.
Oh yeah.
When I first started talking to Howie, I had questions for him, and he's like, "Well, send me your address, and I'll send you this." And I don't know where the damn card's at. When we moved, I don't know where the hell it went. So I'm going off memory. But the whole putting the cardboard thing down and all that good stuff, and then trying not to say her real name, and I can't wait. Hold on, she was in here a second ago. No, wait, that's not her. That's Danish.
Yeah.
Old school. There you go. I was trying to say her real name because I don't know if she tells everybody yet. But
Martha.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if she actually said it on here or not.
Yeah, Martha's used hers. Sometimes she'll use have her name up, the old school, and sometimes she put Martha.
Oh, okay.
When she was on mine and Will's live streams years ago. So
yeah, no, Martha has also been helpful, and Palmetto, even though this whole planting the corn and the beans thing, I don't think he told me. Wait, hold on. I misunderstood his directions. I'm sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, thing is, so the planting times for back in South Carolina are just a little bit different than California. But yeah, like I know Carol said earlier that corn sucks everything out of the ground, which is one of the reasons people plant the beans next to them, because the beans put nitrogen back in the ground.
Well, I know the spot. Well, I don't know. There's probably about a 4-foot spot that I grew corn last year just for shits and giggles. I was like, I gotta grow something. Let me throw this in there and see. It doesn't seem to have anything growing.
Mm-hmm.
So I dug up a part of that, turned the dirt over, added some other dirt to it, and then I threw in what I throw in there, like some potatoes and the little ones or whatever, just to see if something will grow out of there now.
Yeah.
Because somebody told me that you can't grow corn in the same spot year after year or whatever. So.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's why like in Oklahoma and Kansas when they have the big corn and stuff, they use a lot of chemical fertilizers in the water.
Yeah.
But I know across the street where my son-in-law brought in 2 truckloads of wood chips years ago and dumped it and kind of raked it out a little bit and didn't keep it wet enough so it never really broke down and stuff. The wood chips sucked all the nitrogen out of the soil and nothing really grows good there, including the weeds.
Yeah.
And I keep telling him, all right, you did this. You need to get the seeds for either beans, peas, clover, or alfalfa and seed that area because that stuff will grow in that type of soil and it'll put the nitrogen into the soil.
Okay.
And once you grow that stuff, then I'll come along. I'll get the rototiller attachment for, and I'll rent the Bobcat and I'll bring it in and I'll rototill it all in again. So you get not only you get the nitrogen going in, you get the greenery from the plants being turned in as well. But yeah, so where you said you didn't have the corn didn't grow worth squat,
Yeah.
Did your guys that were bringing that did your walls and stuff? Did they bring in compost stuff or anything, soil, or did you just do that?
No. That was just the same dirt that they took off the hillside. So, and literally, if I go, I managed to before I got tired of doing it, I pulled rocks out about a foot down. There's just so many rocks, it's ridiculous. So me and the boy made wire cages and started putting rocks in there. Just to do something with the rocks and help hold up the side of because on the side there it's open. So we made like cages just to box off the side or whatever. So
we call that riprap cages in construction.
Yeah, there's so many rocks. It's just ridiculous. So
you made me think of a movie when you said all the rocks and stuff. John Wayne in The Quiet Man. And he's out there pulling rocks out of his feet. He goes, now I know why you have so many stone walls around here.
Yeah, no, we took the dog out on a walk and we went to this park that I hadn't been to in a while. And I went, oh yeah, we were going to do that. And the kid's out of school, so we needed something to do. So we went straight over to Home Depot and got the stuff to do it with. And it was kind of cool. Me and him out there trying to figure out how to do it. Except for when I was trying to get him to do work so I could take a break, I ended up having to help him. So I didn't get any breaks. I'm sad.
How old is he?
8.
Hey, he's still getting into it.
Oh yeah, I know. No, it was fun though. It was fun spending the day with him doing that. We still got to finish it, but yeah, when I threw my back out, and I was doing something really dangerous and strenuous when I threw my back out. I was throwing stuff in the garbage can. Yeah, it wasn't all the rocks I moved and all that. I literally I reached over and dropped something in the garbage can, and my back made that noise, and I went, "Oh, this is gonna suck." So.
Well, if you threw it out after you did all the rocks and stuff. That's what it was. You were using muscles you hadn't used, and when you reached over that was just this camel that broke straw that broke the camel's back.
I know, but still, it just annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So It'd have been cool if I was lifting up a big rock, like all manly, like lifting a big rock, and then my back went out. Arr. No, I was emptying the ashtray. Yeah, yeah. Now there was 10,000 Chinese coming over the hill. Yeah, no, I literally was emptying the ashtray and my back went out.
Yeah. All right, so we got Homestead Aquarius have coming, gear grinding. There was someone else I said hi to that came in. So we've had a few more people join us. Welcome everybody. Please hit that thumbs up button over there. It's make YouTube like me more. Which is an interesting thing is, look at it again. Yeah, I'm stuck at 727. Been at 727 for the last 2 weeks.
Man, I don't even look at mine anymore, dude. I don't.
Yeah. What's interesting though, in the last 2 weeks, my watch hours have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
But my subscribers are just.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't even pay attention to that anymore. I'll look at it like once in a while and be like, "You'd be kidding me."
Yeah.
But nah, I just don't care. I figure if I got 100 people that are, we're all on the same page or whatever, cool. And at this point, everybody else can just, what's the word I'm looking for? Die, whatever.
Let me check something over here, make sure we got it up there. Huh. Oh, that's right. It's the other channel. Never mind. I was getting confused there. Camp Patton is monetized, and I have the thing on it, the members on it. So, everyone, all right, we need to help somebody. Glenn, How to Garden needs watch time. Everybody, go over and watch. When we get done tonight, go over and watch, or just let it play. A couple of videos play. Pick a playlist to do it. But yeah, there's up here. I've been out there just in the heat was just today, and I was out there and I got 6 blue spruce trees. I'm finally being able to get those planted. And I was out there with my little backhoe. Went to dig, like I hit concrete. And it's like, crap. Well, I guess I need to hook up start watering the lawn and everything again. So because I've been doing my part here because we're in a drought here, and I haven't been watering all the lawn. I've been watering a little patch in the back for the grandkids to play on, but the front yard I've just been letting it dry up.
Well, they say that we're supposed to be conserving water, but they haven't put anything officially out. Does that make sense? At least here they have it. I know in Los Angeles they have, and they probably have up in the Frisco area, but here they put a thing on the freaking website. Like, I don't go look at the city website. How the hell am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
I mean, I've cut back or whatever, but I'm not going full bore crazy. Dude, I just got sod put in the backyard and all this. I'm not going to let all that die just because Newsom's mad. So.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, what the water district my wife is in up in Northern California there.
Yeah.
She's, for the last several years, she's been every year dropping it, doing everything she can to conserve water, planting the right type of plants and stuff. We even replumbed off the bathroom sinks and the showers, and that water runs out to the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was looking back. So like 6 years ago, she's down 20% less water than it was 6 years ago.
Right.
They want her to reduce another 15%.
Yeah, because that's what Newsom declared we shall do. And I've tried to have this discussion with some people, but they just don't. That's the word I'm looking for. They don't want to hear it because it's funnier, I guess, to say it the other way. But the water situation here is mainly driven because, like 6 months ago, Newsom said, "Thou shalt not use 20% more," or something like that. And the big cities ignored him. So now all of a sudden he's got all these environmental folks saying, "Oh, yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that." And it's, I don't know. Most people won't even look it up. They just have fun saying, "Oh, look at California."
Yeah, what's interesting about this, I did some more digging since I did my last thing on it. I forget what I'm forgetting what's out. There's 6 states involved. There's the upper and lower Colorado River Compact or whatever.
Yeah.
And these states, and when the federal government did their survey, they were doing in like a 10-year wet season at the time, and the Colorado River had no time had that much water going through it all, constantly. And they said, "Oh, we got this much water, so we can give these guys get so much, these guys get so much," and divide it up that way. Well, they haven't adjusted that, realizing that, oops, we screwed up. Right. We did it there during an unusual super wet block of time. And there's this one channel out there, and I was looking at some of his videos, and his videos are scary as shit. Sin City Outdoors, and he goes fishing and does everything else, but he's near Las Vegas, and he was over at Lake Mead, and there are boats that were sunk that are being exposed now. And he had this one video of the bow of this one boat sticking out the one week, and 2 weeks later there's another couple more feet of the boat sticking out of the ground. So it's dropping like that, because once you get down into the thing, when you take a foot off you take so many gallons off the top, it only goes down so much. You take so many gallons off it when it's narrow, it goes down a lot more. And they found 2 55-gallon barrels with bodies in them that people thought would never be found because.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
Yeah, and then someone else was saying that there's some other articles out there that aren't quite as well. They just found the bodies laying down in the water, in the mud there. But yeah, and it's just, to me, the whole thing is a political clusterfudge.
It is
with water.
It is.
Yeah.
But last Saturday, I was down in the LBC with some of the homies, and I drove past one of the rivers there, and that's Long Beach for you guys that don't know. And I tried to get a picture of it, but I was driving, and I had this thing where I don't mess with my phone when I'm driving, but I did grab it at a light and try to get a picture, but I couldn't get the right picture. There was just water pouring out to the ocean. And it happens all the time. Yeah. And it's not that we don't have the water, it's we don't have the storage capacity for it.
And it's, I'm going to go on a little rant. I'm going to try to keep it short. California has passed a law that all new construction must be 100% electric. No natural gas, no propane, 100% electric. They can't, and then at the same time, the grid managers, I forget what that corporation's called, is saying there's going to be a record brownouts and blackouts this summer because we can't produce enough electricity. Hop in your Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody. Back in the early 70s, when I was going up to scout camp on the Stanislaus River, both the north, south, and central forks, the Stanislaus River, every couple miles, 4 or 5 miles, had a little hydroelectric dam. Had a fish ladder around it. Had this little miniature lake, behind it. The fish population was incredible. And then you get these ill-informed, self-righteous tree huggers who said, "Oh, it's killing the fish. Oh, we need to tear out all those hydroelectric plants because it's killing the fish." Well, they tore out the plants, tore down the dams. Since the fish didn't have these little areas to rest in going up to spawn, fish population has dropped off dramatically. The amount of electricity that was hydroelectric in California, produced in California, went, I'm trying to remember, I may get this wrong. I think it's 67% was killed off by all these little miniature hydroelectric dams being taken out. And if someone can correct me on that number, I would appreciate it if it's wrong. So, I mean, here's was something that was both good for the environment, good for the people, and these idiots said get rid of it. All right, that's my rant. What's here? To intercede and claim ownership of God and nation.
Nah, like I said, most people don't understand there's more to it than just there's no rain hitting the ground here. There's rain. We just don't have storage for it, and nobody wants their backyard to be the place where it's being stored at.
Yeah, all I know is up in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area, not actually the Bay Area, but east of it, in the far east side of Contra Costa County, where you got in Alameda County, where you got Livermore, Brentwood, Oakley and stuff. They would love for the state or the federal government to come in and put in reservoirs.
Yeah.
Especially if the reservoirs are deemed multi-use, which means you can go out there, you can go water skiing on it, you can go swimming in it, and a recreational area. And they would love to have those up there because then it also increases the water supply in the area. Back when I was still working construction, I worked on the Los Foscaros Reservoir when they built the dam there to begin with. And I spent weeks out there running a scraper, paddle wheel scraper, picking up dirt, putting it out, laying it out. And then they put me on the compactors instead. And because I could compact faster than the guy they had on the compactors. And yeah. And then when we built it, wider than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And they built it up, and sure as shooting, they realized, okay, guys, we got more funding. Let's add another 20 feet to it.
Well, there's money set aside for all that. They just haven't spent it. They've been taking that money and moving it to the general fund and then passing out hypodermic needles. I mean,
yeah. But yeah, so that, I mean, that, some of the reservoirs and stuff can be enlarged relatively cheaply, but the problem is it's going to impact all the wildlife around it, and it's going to raise it up, and we're going to lose all these trees to it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. So I mean, eventually here, like if they start having brownouts and all that, I'm cool. That's why we got the generator thing hooked up, so we wouldn't have to deal with that. But
so do you have a battery bank too, or not yet?
No, the generator has what do you call it? A battery bank in it, and then when that's used up or whatever, it goes to the gas.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably in August. I'll be taking all the old 12-volt RV deep cycle batteries I have, taking them over to Batteries Plus, trading those in as core charges, and getting a bunch of the golf cart batteries and doubling my capacity of my battery bank I have out here.
Right.
And with that, it's like, okay, fine. I run the generator for an hour. I get all my chest freezers and refrigerators cold again, and I force charge all those batteries, because I got one of those big 40 amp battery chargers you used to see in the old garages when we were kids.
Yeah.
I got one of those so I can charge that whole thing up and make sure it's charged at night, and I can be able to run my AC, bedroom AC on it. And so that's my goal, is to be able to have, and once I get after August, when I have my driveway all poured, I'm going to try to get a contractor in here to put a carport over it that I can mount all my solar panels on.
That's cool. Hey, old Danish Homestead there has a question about, can you explain how brown and blackouts work?
All right. Blackout is simple. No power. It's out. And it could be accidental. It could be which could be an overload. It could be someone hitting a power pole, taking out the power for you, and that's another blackout. But it could be scheduled where they just turn off neighborhoods for a period. Now, brownout is where they throttle back the voltage flying. And Tennessee Bushcrafter is our resident super electrician in here, and he could probably explain better how that works. But basically, your lights start dimming, going brown. You get, instead of being that nice bright light, it gets kind of the yellowish, brownish light, and they call them brownouts because you're not getting the voltage. Thing is, though, that can also damage your electrical motors for your refrigerators, your microwave oven, whatever takes an electrical motor, it can damage that as well. And of course, your computers.
Yeah, but that's because they want you to shut everything else down except for, say, your refrigerator or something. But
yeah,
again, that's why we spent the money to get the generator thing, because on this side, because we just moved across town when we moved. On this side of town, man, every time there's a windy day, they've been shutting the power off because they don't want to cause fires or whatever.
Yeah.
So that would be like the blackout thing where they just decide that the neighborhood doesn't get power.
Right. Now, interesting thing is, though, here, the problem with the house I'm in right now is that the screens on it have larger size holes in it, for the things than most normal ones. And I did a little short video, a short on what I did on the kitchen window. I just finished recording, showing how I was doing it. I went and got some. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Some small insect screen orders. Let me go into my orders here. I'll show you what I got. And this stuff works absolutely amazing. There it is. And I don't have to do all of the screens. I just need to do a couple of them. And this is 48 inches wide, 84 inches long. And I can probably I've already got 3 screens done. I'm doing a bigger screen tomorrow. And I'll probably do 2 more screens and still have half the roll left. And so I can open up the windows without the gnats and anything else coming through it, because this stuff here is really neat. And it was only $14 for the roll.
Yeah.
And and what I did is, and I'm going to explain it better in my video, rather than pulling out the old screen, I cut it to the size just inside of the little, I forget what it's called, that little rubber stuff you put in there, and you run the roller over to hold the screen in place. Right. I made it just about that side, and I took out some high temperature electrical tape, white, so it matches the framework and all the other stuff. And I put it in there, and basically looking at it from the outside, you just see the screen. You don't realize it's got all this electrical tape on it holding it in place, and it's high temperature. I've been double checking. I guess it's been about a week and a half of the one window that's in the sun off the kitchen. The tape's holding fine because it's high temperature tape, and it's doing good. Now, if it starts to fail by middle of August, then I'll go ahead and pull the other screen out and put it in properly. But this way, you got the old screen inside, the other screen on it, and sometimes they overlap, so it makes it even smaller for the stupid bugs to try to get in. And so, for $14, I'm probably going to get half a dozen windows, maybe a little bit more done, so I can open up the windows, put a box fan on one side and a couple of box fans, and just blow it and cool the house down once the temperature drops colder than it is inside. Hey, Tennessee Tactical, how's it going?
Is your house just one story?
Yes, this house is a, gotta use the right term. Basically, most people call it a mobile home, but it's a step above mobile home, but it's not. It's manufactured. It's not modular. Modular, they bring it on a flat trailer, and it's considered stick built. They bring it on a trailer, slide it off, and bolt it to the foundation. This they have wheels underneath it, bring it in, pull the wheels off, and set it up, and then they have a foundation around the outside, but it still has the little jack things in the middle to level it all out. But I mean, the guy I bought it from had reskinned it with actual high quality metal siding with the insulation foam packet thing behind it, so the walls are better insulated. However, the ceiling is another story still. So the only way I can fix that, make that ceiling any better, is if he had put white shingles on it instead of the dark brown. And you all know the dark brown just absorbs that heat and radiates it right on through.
Yeah, but isn't that a good thing when it gets cold there?
So long as the wind's blowing enough so the snow doesn't build up on the roof, yes. But if the wind's not blowing, the snow starts coming down, all of a sudden, once you get a blanket of snow on there, it acts like an insulation a little bit, and you get more snow on there, and it doesn't melt and come off. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's starting to get a little cold in here. Stoke up the wood stove a little bit, going, get the temperature up to 80 inside for several hours, and all of a sudden you see all the snow just start coming off.
Oh, okay.
Tibor said in Ohio, okay, we don't have brownouts, just blackout or power surges. The other day, actually, we had a really hard wind blowing, and so I got my 132-inch monitor in front of me, which is a Dell monitor. I have a Hisense TV over here that I use the HDMI to plug into the computer. So no, actually, that one's on the VGA to the computer. The Dell's on the HDMI. But there was just a little flicker, just a light little flicker, and this monitor goes out. And I'm like, okay, and I got to restart it, and using the little remote, I got to turn it on, go to home, put it on computer, and I'm back up again. But what's so funny is that if the light in here flickered just once, it went out, got it going again, went into the kitchen to do something, and the lights flickered in the kitchen. And he's like, oh, okay. I looked back down the hall. This one's still up. So the heavy flicker, it didn't affect it. The light went a little beep, and it did.
Yeah.
But electrical the blackouts, brownouts, and power surges and stuff are going to be weird. And this year, especially for Northern California, because where the fires are burning so far, they didn't burn those areas didn't burn for the last 4 or 5 years. So now it's their turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So
most of the spots around here burned the last couple of years, so I'm not super concerned about it, but still,
right.
you still got to watch out for them. So
what's interesting though, if you have a early season burn like right now, by the time fall comes around, mid-fall, when the rains really start coming, Steve's in a power outage. But
no, Danish said to put a flashlight under me, so I pulled out my EDC flashlight that's always in my pocket.
Yeah, but if like in your area, so where you had the fire burn, and then it's early like now, and you get 1 or 2 light summer storms, you get the grass starting to grow and the mustard seeds starting to grow a little bit. By the time the fall rains start coming in, and you don't get the mudslides, so also this stuff starts growing, like on steroids, so that by the following summer you could have another big grass fire again.
Yeah, no, it's the hillsides are mostly still the ones over this way. They're mostly cactus too.
Yeah.
The cactus don't burn like the other stuff. But just over the rise is where the fire came through last time, and it doesn't have enough to make a big fire right now.
Yeah.
So me and the kids were up there a couple of weeks ago looking around, and yeah, it's not like I said, it's not something to be like, oh my golly, but still got to watch it, you know.
Yeah. Does that area grow manzanita?
No,
Okay.
that way a little bit more,
Yeah.
and then to the north of us, yeah, but not right here.
Yeah, I know that when we used to go up to Scout Camp Wolfboro, up there on the north fork of the Stanislaus, up past Angels Camp. From Angels Camp up to there, the area would burn off every 3 years, it seems like, because the manzanita is it's like the wild grass up there.
Mm-hmm.
You get your regular grass and stuff. You get the manzanita, but it takes about 3 years for the manzanita to get up enough for it to be a good fuel source. And then, of course, some idiot driving down the highway throws a cigarette out, and that area goes again.
Yeah, you non-smoker. Do you actually know where the cigarette goes when you throw it out the car? No, you don't, because you're not a smoker. It goes behind the car on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Most of the fires start by cars that lose a tire or something, or have some kind of mechanical problem, and they pull over on the side of the road, and the idiots pull up into the bushes.
Yeah. The catalytic converter is really hot or something, or you got the ones that have the broken muffler and it's dragging.
Yeah, that's how most of the fires start. They just blame it on smokers because smokers are evil. Hey, fishes.
No, smokers are not evil. They are victims of that great demon tobacco weed.
Yes.
It's like heroin. They gotta have their. Now, Steve, the reason why I'm so down on smoking, my dad got hooked on smoking when he was 8 years old.
Yeah, I'm gonna have another cigarette, by the way. Hey, fishes, I am on the central coast of California. I am in the 805. So we're between
my dad died of lung cancer. Well, actually, it was lung cancer. They gave him chemo. They thought they had it whipped, and then it the pieces broke off and got up in his brain. They got that whipped, and then it showed up in his liver, and that did him in.
I figure I'm going to die of something totally non-smoking related, and everybody be like, "Oh, it's because he smoked," and I'll have to like I don't know, the boss put something in the paper. No, he died of ass cancer. It had nothing to do with smoking.
Okay, I am channeling the poop troop right now. And you said ass cancer. What would have come up over on Courtney's channel is gerbils. And what's his name? Richard Greer.
Yeah.
Either that or someone's going to say you were Chew. Oh, I gotta. I'm hiding my tobacco for later use.
Yeah.
I'm a real prepper. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what real preppers do. They shove everything up their butt, so they always have it with them.
Oh.
Hey, fishes, if you really want to know where I'm at, I'm in Thousand Oaks. It's right by Ventura. I know. Operational security. I'm supposed to hide it. Whatever.
Thousand Oaks is so friggin' big. I mean, that's like saying I'm in San Francisco. As far as miles square wise,
right.
It's like
right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. What else does anybody have in their mind out there? Let me take a look. Okay, so we're going to talk about smoking and cancer now in the side chat. Let's go back a little bit and see. Everyone was talking about the brownouts, blackouts. Carol did something good. Put a surge protector on her AC unit the last one they had installed. That's a good thing to do. Because especially if it's a surge protector with just a voltage breaker on it, So when it starts going down, it trips, so it you don't wind up burning up your motor, which because it's running on too little voltage. Okay.
Oh, Tennessee wasn't here when we were talking about the Supreme Court thing. I guess they have some other ones that they're coming out with tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's supposed to be a few other states or something that they're going to hopefully they slap down stuff on them as well.
Well, when they come out, if they come out with the Roe versus Wade one, like they were talking about, there's already scheduled disturbances. Yes. Oh wait, sorry, there's scheduled peaceful protests in pretty much every big city.
Yeah. All right. Tennessee says a true brownout doesn't affect 240 voltage because of the way it does. I know what he's talking about. Let me do something here. This is for those I trust, and that's just about everybody I've seen in the side chat here. If someone wants to, there's the link if you want to come up. Repeating, if you're just new here, I may not bring you up here. If you've been around forever, like Fishes, Tennessee Tactical, Gear, Passamaquoddy, Rachel, yeah, and the other usual suspects. Yeah, if you want to come up here and join us, you can. Yeah, so you saw some of those videos on my tractor work and stuff I was doing around here.
Yeah. Hey, Gil. Yeah. Do us all a favor and either speed them up more or edit them. We don't need to watch you go back 10 times, okay?
Yeah.
I
sped it up, from 100% to 500%. But yeah, I'll go back in and do it again another 500. Actually,
we only need to watch you go like 4 times, not 10 times, okay?
Or go.
Yes.
But there was some other ones I missed, which would had some more technical stuff on it, and the file on the SD card said it had 900 some odd bytes, 900 some odd thousand bytes on it. But when I went to open it up, blank. Nah. So when the battery died on the camera, it didn't have a chance to finish the file. What's the word? Basically, the file, you got to do something at the end of it. When you stop recording, it automatically does something to complete the file.
Right.
And if it didn't complete the file, you can't play it.
Yeah.
So, but do I have a specific plan for my CPAP? Yes. Actually, let me show you if I got it here. Visual backgrounds. Okay, it's not there. It's on the other page. Hang on. Got to go to brand. It's on the brand page. And it's going to pop up behind us here. Where is it? Come on, where's the generators? So I have my tri-fuel generator. Here we go. All right, so the one above me is my Goal Zero 400. It'll run my CPAP for 3 days. But I can every day after I get done doing it, I just plug the little 15-watt solar panel in, plug it in, and it's 90% or 99% charged by that night. The one below it there that you can barely see is this one here, which is my Kodiak. And this will run my CPAP. If I run just my CPAP on it, will run my CPAP for over a week, maybe 10 days.
I got that. It's not called Kodiak anymore. It's called something else.
There was Kodiak.
Interject, something like that. I got that one.
Energy, it's Energy spelled with an I, is the name of the company.
Yeah.
It went from the Kodiak to the crap. Anyway, it went to the Kodiak to the other one, which looks like a Kodiak, but it was just up. All right, we got Lewis here. We went to the Kodiak, and it's from the Kodiak. They added more stuff inside and gave it a better inverter in there and better charge controller. So it basically gave, it's like an A model on a plane from the F-14 to the F-14A.
Yeah,
And
no,
then,
that's the one I got. I got that one and a couple solar panels that I can run stuff off of if I have to.
yeah. And go back to comments there. Hey, Tonya, how's it going? And so I have those two. If I need to, I can fire up my generator, which is still on the Furman over there under Steve, behind Steve there. And I can charge those up in an hour and a half, using the big chart, the wall plug chargers on it by running it off the generator. But also on the Kodiak, it has the adapter. Do I got it laying around here? No, it's got a twist lock adapter that goes in. All right, so I can hook those studs. I can hook those studs up to the to any battery, and it'll help charge and stuff. But right here is a special plug thing that goes in there, twist lock plug, that has the your standard solar panel controllers on it. So I can plug in 2 100-watt panels, and it's fully charged in a couple hours, in 3 hours, fully charged. I'll do that probably every third or fourth day. So my CPAP I'm good on. I got several backups for it. And worst comes to worst, I got a couple regular pure sine wave inverters, and I got several deep cycle golf cart batteries. I can just run it, go out there, clip it on that, and run an extension cord in the house. Worst comes to worst. Other than that, I can also, if I get a chair tilted at the right angle and get that those nose slips things to put on your nose and kind of holds your everything open, then I don't snore quite so bad. All right, Pastor McClatty, have a good night.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Lewis, how's it going?
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, I was watching your garden video and stuff you had out there, and with that that flexible pipe stuff you had your the plants in.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are weeping tiles that you would stick in the ground there, say for your sub pump or your septic tank stuff.
Right.
If you got to, because some places up here, there's 2 different types of septic tanks. There's your cottage septic tanks where you got to have emptied out come the end of the fall there, and every year. And then I've got a septic tank here, and it can go. The last time I've had it cleaned out was 3 or 4 years ago, because all the waste stuff goes out there in the water. But at a certain level, it's a double hole where the basement goes in, and then there's a hole right there, so I can get at the flange there if it ever gets clogged there, or it goes outside of the house into the septic tank. And then there's a second hole where it goes like a little T valve thing going into the ground, and there's like God knows how many feet worth of weeping tiles in the ground to let all the water go.
Yeah. Yeah, but using that for like a little planter was a kind of a novel idea.
Yeah. Well, hey, the lettuce and the spinach and chives and green onions, right? They don't take up very much space, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you really need for that stuff, right? So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who said? Okay. CV. The problem, the good thing about when I'm out there snoring and camping, nobody comes around because they think there's 2 grizzly bears fighting over there, wherever I'm at. And they'll just, no, we're not going over there. That's,
Hey, Gail, I'm going to cut out.
All right. Thanks for coming up, Steve.
No big deal.
Hey, folks, and if you haven't seen Steve's latest tabletop video series, very good, very well thought out, and it's great. It was about 6 years after the event, and trying to put stuff back together. I really enjoyed that, Steve.
Thanks, Gil. All right, everybody stay safe.
All right. See you later, Steve. Yeah. So
I gotta agree with there was his name, Tennessee Bushcrafter, with the generators creating I don't want to say dirty power, but if that's the correct term.
yeah.
I know that with my generator, it fluctuates, so I can't my furnace, if I have my propane furnace, if I have a power failure, I can't hook it up to my generator. It's too small, but because of the fluctuation in there, it's not a good idea.
Yeah,
but I can hook it up to my
here's the way around this. All right, the way around this is what Bank of America's data center in Concord, their main data center setup. It does not run off of the electrical grid. PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, has a trunk line coming into them. It goes into the basement of building. No, I gotta say I want to get that. Goes into the basement of the one building where they have several rooms, huge rooms of batteries, and all it does is it charges the batteries. So the batteries are being charged by PG&E. Then on the other side, they're pulling off of the batteries with these massive inverters, and they run to each of the buildings and stuff. So that they've got the power coming off at multiple voltages. They got the 277 for all the lighting in the building. They've got 240 going up for certain things. They got 120 for most of the outlets. They even got some 460 to run some of the air conditioning systems. And so that all runs off of batteries. So if PG&E has a power failure, everything is still running on the batteries. After a couple minutes, if the power doesn't come back on, they have 7 locomotive engines running these massive generators, and however many generators need to will kick on. Usually it's 2 or 3 generators will power the entire thing quickly. So they kick on, once it gets the batteries back up to full charge, it'll kick off, and just usually one generator will stay on power, because one generator can run the entire complex. But usually it takes 5 minutes or so before it kicks in, so they're not immediately firing up the generators. They don't want to do that. They want to, so then they fire it back up and recharge the batteries, and just have one generator just keep charging the batteries, and life goes on. 99% of the time, you don't even know that the power went out around the complex. And unless it's at night, then everything else goes dark, and Bank of America there's just shining bright.
Yeah, my mom, she's got a big horse. Well, not a big, huge horse farm, but she up here in Canada, she had I think a 70-acre property, and the place was worth $4 million. The house, each house had one, and the barn had one, maybe 2. But there were those big tractor trailer engines that you have on the floor. On the ground, and the moment, like 10 seconds after the power went out, it'd kick on.
Yeah. IRS call and service centers have several levels. All right, from 3 or 4 directions, seeing generators out for what's amazing is on the top of the one building, building D, they got 7 of these locomotive engines up there. I mean, the exhaust pipes coming up out of the top are huge. I can't put my arm around them. the pipes coming out of the top, and they got the pipes coming up, and then the batteries for starting those. I'm trying to remember. I think it's 12 of the 8D batteries. That's the size of a battery. Usually, like a semi truck will have 2 8D batteries in it. A Caterpillar excavator, dozer, whatever, has 2 8D batteries in it. These things had like 12 8D batteries to start it up. And they went over. I think they said they went double the number of batteries, just so in case you had one dead battery in there, you still have all the others enough to provide the proper voltage to start them those generators.
That is some crank power, man.
Oh yeah, that is some heavy duty crank power. Yeah, and I so want to have my wife tell me, all right, we need to plant the apricot trees, the cherry trees she wants, the peach and nectarine trees that she wants to get. We need to get those in the ground. I've been harping on this for years, but I think it's like, hey, we need to get those in the ground this year, or we need to get them planted in some 27-gallon buckets where I can just move them inside into the garage during the wintertime.
Yeah.
And then plant them next year.
Yeah. Well, okay. If they're like your normal apple, pear, whatever, comes back each year, right? And I don't know if you get snow or really cold up there, but the lemon and the orange trees, they go.
Oh yeah, those will not grow outside here. They will die. They'll be dead by Veterans Day.
Yeah. I got to bring mine in. Like I said, I don't know if they'll fruit or not, but one's about 3 years old, and I've been kind of I got to repot it anyways, get some more dirt in there. But I've been kind of training it. Now I'm just gonna once I get it repotted, I'm just gonna let it go, right, a little bit, and then it's worth a try up here in Canada, right? But I just got 3 cherry trees planted the other day. And next month I'm going to get 2 apple trees that are good for like they can pollinate each other, and get them planted.
Yeah, that's the one thing. A lot of no offense to the people in here, everyone in here is smarter than the average bear.
Yeah.
A lot of your preppers don't realize plant a friggin' tree. Every year should be planting a friggin' tree. Now across the street, over there where my daughter's at, we have we got 10 trees over there. Most of them are apples, but there's 10 trees over there. The one apricot didn't survive the transplant from California up here, and it was in a big tub, and I think part of it was the soil it was transplanted into. The apple trees that my daughter and son-in-law planted in the half 55-gallon barrels, the 27.5-gallon tubs, and had them in there for 2 years, and then put them into soil. Those are doing great. But some of the ones they planted directly in the soil are having a hard time. But they've gotten some. I think they have some elderberries that they planted, died, but they didn't totally die off. They're coming back, which is good. And,
well, I know elderberries, trees you gotta water lots when you're first starting them off, but elderberries up here in Canada, I don't know if it's different in the States or not, or if there's different breeds, but I know the ones up here in Canada, they love water. In a year, 6 months, doesn't matter. they just love water because they're mostly found up in the ditches, right?
Yeah.
That's where the lowest part of the water, like the ground is. There's always going to be water there. Because it's a ditch, right? Every time it rains, and it'll grow. I've got, I had one maybe about this high off the ground, and it's like taller than me now. Oh yeah. And then I've got another one, and it's about as tall as me. And I've just been soaking them.
Okay, let me see if I can read this right, Tennessee. What if you already have 80 acres of woods bordering around 10,000, okay, 10,000 acres of public woodland? Yeah, well, you have 80 acres butted up against public national forest, state forest, whatever. Oh, yeah, you're good. But you got to make sure you have the signs up there so you don't get people encroaching into your 80 acres from the other side.
Yeah, well, that's when you make paths, right? A lot, especially along the border of it, like for like a 4-wheeler or a side-by-side. You know what I mean? Nothing too special.
Yeah.
Like your utility tractor, right? Make a path of all the trees, right? Perfect firewood, and take the bush hog, just make a path, and you make it a regular every couple of days. If you get I got a Great Pyrenees Miramar mix. And with my last one, he was the Great Pyrenees. And what I did, there's a few things I had to strap him to a tire because he would just keep taking off. But what I would do was put butter on his feet and walk him around the property, right? And that's what you do because it's something of the scent, right? And because it makes sure they go to the washroom out there a few times, right? Because it's the scent, right? And then once they get used to that, right? I'm only speaking for the Great Pyrenees Miramar mix, right? So now they become used to that perimeter, and they always will. Like they're a guardian dog for livestock, but they're also good for the home, right? Like even I got a 1/4 acre, right? Always lets me know when there's somebody here. He's always on guard. Like he's quiet and sleeping now, but the moment somebody knocks on the door, that's it. He's up and barking. So they're always like, and they're nocturnal dogs, and so they will be up pretty much most of the night. Like they'll be alert mostly at night. Yeah, because that's what they're used to. That's what they're bred for.
Hey, Tennessee, do you have year-round streams going through your property? For some reason, I got the feeling that you have 2 year-round streams going through your property. I may be thinking of somebody else. But if you have a year-round stream that you can actually, if you got 80 acres and you got enough fall in the one section, you got a stream there, you can actually dam it up and put in a hydroelectric plant. And it's a year-round stream. You got power year-round.
Yeah, or even a steam generator, right? Where you got
that has its drawbacks. Where a steam generator is, steam engines have to be shut down, broken down, and cleaned up. Every couple of years. The boilers need to be, and sometimes the boiler tubes have to be redone, because I was working with the Niles Canyon Railroad as a volunteer, and it seemed like every 2 to 3 years we were taking the number 2 Quincy steam engine out of service and pulling the tubes out of the boiler and replacing it. It usually took about a month to do that, and it only ran on Saturdays and Sundays, and maybe 1 day a week. So it wasn't running that much, but they pulled the tubes out of it just to keep it, certified, so it doesn't go boom.
Okay.
But see, now hydroelectric, if you have a right hydroelectric one, it has out the turbine on there, and you have you just water flowing through there. Though you have a throttler on the sort of like a valve that shuts off, that adjusts the flow of water through it depending on your power need.
Okay. Well, I just figured I thought I didn't know all that about the steam
Yeah.
stuff, right? But I
Yeah.
figured hot water as well too. You know what I mean?
Uh,
And you know, maybe like my place here is a converted church from 1880, and so 2/3 of the basement's just a crawl space, right? And the other third's like for my propane furnace, hot water tank, pressure tank, sub
yeah.
pump. That's about it, right? Um, oh yeah, and the lead out to the septic tank, and where my well comes in. There's hot water for heating up the basement. You know what I mean? Hot water to kind of heat the walls of the house, right?
Yeah.
A little bit too, right? And you got power, but if it's that much work, forget it.
Yeah. The Tennessee with that, you got 3 springs, a stream, and 2 ponds. That was at 2 ponds. So if your stream is flowing and has, if that 500-foot fall is for the stream, or is that for the river? But if that's for the stream from the ridge there, yeah, you can sneak a pipeline, bury a pipeline out the property up the river or whatever, and pull water from there and get the good head on it and have yourself a good hydro plant down there for you.
Oh yeah, I'd do that for sure, man.
Have to watch the water of messing with the water. Have to watch messing with the water deviation though. Yeah. That's why you just put, if you have a good fall, a 3-inch pipe will provide a decent amount of water, and it'll turn a small hydroelectric that'll put out. I'm trying to remember this because there are several of us looking at. It'll put out, 8 kilowatts. Provide. You can turn replace the gas motor on my Furman generator. You can just run that and it power that. And the thing is, so if you're putting out 8,000 watts, kilowatts, and 6 to 8,000 watts or 6 to 8 kilowatts, however you want to say it, and you have batteries too to charge up, and a battery system too.
Yeah.
For surge stuff, surge use, like, okay, we need to run the clothes dryer. Yeah, it'll draw down the batteries and stuff a little bit, and you're done doing it. Next several hours, it charges it back up.
Yeah. I was watching another channel there. He does it the solar panel system, but he also has a backup system for that too. And he's got batteries. He's got a gas power generator for it, as well too. And he's got the batteries, and it's even the solar panel system that he's got. It's nice, you know what I mean? It's always nice. Absolutely no electricity to his house other than that solar panel stuff and that gas panel, is everything's running off the batteries, and the solar panels are feeding the batteries. And then in the winters, obviously, because he's in New York, right? So in the winters and on rainy days, guess what? The generator's got to go on, for a few hours, right?
Yeah. Okay, Tennessee. Yeah. If you have a big enough, if the stream is flowing at a certain rate, and you put a big enough water wheel out there, even though it's a slow turning water wheel, you got all that torque. Then once you're inside your little building there, you can torque it up to spin a generator pretty good. Yeah, in the summertime, you put up the clothesline, the clothespins, but in the wintertime, like here, when I do the laundry on the weekends, because on the weekends the power is cheap. So we're on that program here, and so since it's an electric dryer, there's no stuff. I have it vented back into the room, and I got some filter bags on there to catch all the lint. So basically, when I'm doing laundry, I'm heating part of the house. So I'm like drying the clothes, I'm heating the house and putting moisture back in the air to bring the humidity up from 14 up to try to get it up to so I don't get nosebleeds and stuff. And that actually doing the laundry in the wintertime, because it actually an electric dryer actually brings the heat up, and not only the heat up but the humidity up in the house, which makes it a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, well, when you heat up water, it tends to stay warm for a while, and when you cool it down, it's freezing, and it tends to stay cold for a while. I've noticed that living up here in Canada, right? There's when you're right by water, a stream, river, it doesn't matter how big or small it is. You could be burning a wood stove or having the heat on to almost June. Yeah. The further you are away from that, you're looking at May.
Yeah.
Well,
I know with my wood burning stove here, I got 3 big pots sitting on it.
Yeah.
And I fill those up with several gallons of water every day during the wintertime. And the humidity, if I'm lucky in here, gets up to 27, 28. And then on Saturday when I'm doing laundry and that as well, it pushes it up above 30, and it stays at 30 for a day or two, and then it starts dropping down because with the cold temps outside, there's no humidity in the air. It's all frozen.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have that. Wood stove or not, I got a sub pump in the basement. I normally just leave the lid off, right? Mm-hmm. So the water's coming up out of there. Even though I got a sub pump, right? There's still a little bit in there, or enough to keep the moisture in the house, So, and the furnace is right by it, right? So.
Okay, I'm checking for something here. Let's see what time that was.
And having the boulder foundation too, right? It's always seeping in a little bit of moisture through that cement because it's always wicking up the water.
Yeah.
I hate the boulder foundations, man.
Shoot. Okay, let me see if I can find this in here again. I may have shoot. Oh well. I was gonna try to. There it is. And that's that is. Okay, so I can just take this like this. Yeah. Now I can put it down there. Is that right? That looks right. Okay. There's the link again. If if someone else wants to come up here and join us. Sometimes it's easier and quicker to talk. Yeah, except when I'm talking. Okay. Sometimes it's easier to talk than type.
Oh, another thing, if you got a wood stove, Gil, I being up here in Canada, I don't know about where you live, but spring, not so much in the fall, but definitely in the spring, we get I don't want to say a lot of power outages, but
yeah, here where we're at, we don't get that many power outages because
it's because
Rocky Mountain Power has a good setup around here, and the substations the substations are set up. They improved them all a few years back for doubling the population growth around here.
Oh yeah, no, it's not even that. It's because it'll rain, and as it gets to night, right, it all starts freezing up. Branches will touch the hydro lines, and sometimes you can hear it, right? Going, and then it's like how you gotta go. You're doing something, and you're using too much power, and you gotta go down to the breaker and flip the breaker again, and you got power.
Yeah.
They got to do that on the hydro lines so it could be 10 poles, it could be 5 poles. I don't know. But there's this little switch up on the top of the poles that what they have to do is with this nice big long pole, reach up, grab it, and then give it a yank. And what they're doing is it's like going down to your electrical panel and flipping the switch to get power, right? But they just got to pull down on this pole, and all it's doing is resetting because it's shorted because of the branches or because of the ice, and it's just flipped the switch, right?
Yeah.
And it could take them 2 hours. It could take them 2 minutes, right? to find it. And sometimes they do one and then another one goes. They go do that one and another one goes, right? Until they find where, if it's a tree branch or something, right? So
yeah, I've heard him talking about here is that on some of the those switches and stuff, the snow starts building up on it and the ice and stuff, and it bypasses it. And so they go out there and they just break it, open, close real quick just to break the ice off of it.
Yeah.
Keep it from shorting out.
Yeah. It's the same thing up here, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? I got to travel like 15 minutes I'm in North Wellington County in a small town of Damascus, right?
Yeah.
So Grand Valley is about 15 minutes one way. Arthur is about 15 minutes the other way, right? So, and it's pretty much farmland out here. So you're talking a lot of hydro poles.
Carol? Oh, Carol. Oh, man. Now, Tibor's response, never thought about it, but it might work. Oh, man. Carol, you should have saved that one for Bob.
Yeah, for sure.
So earlier I mentioned I got, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Picked it up off of, I got on Amazon dirt cheap. For $3 more, I could have gotten the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 with it, but I passed on it since I already have Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
And I think I got my wife still has Ghostbusters 1 there, but I got another one got delivered today. Black Widow. So now I get to watch Black Widow.
Yeah, I like Ghostbusters 1. Well, come to think of it, when John at Willock Grove gave me he couldn't say my last name. He goes Marshmallow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on it thinking about it for a while, and everybody, Courtney and everybody, were like, you should really change your name to Marshmallow or something like that. And a couple days ago, I was like, yeah, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it.
Now, for your icon, so my icon is the Gray Man Prepping here.
Yeah.
Get the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I was thinking that. The one off of Ghostbusters there.
Yeah, the one when he has the big old smile on his face.
Yeah.
Actually, shoot. Let me see if I can do this. Come on here. All right.
Where they're making roasting them.
Stay Puff. Yeah, there we go. Images. What's the one? Here's the one. So you take this one here, and then you just crop it around his face, and use that for your icon. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's Homestead Aquarius. Woo!
Well, hello there.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, sir.
Hey there, Homestead Aquarius.
Oh Lord, let me do this the right way.
Oh man.
Okay. I still had YouTube open in the background.
Yeah. Well, generally what I do is I keep YouTube open so I can make comments and stuff. I just turn the volume way down till it's not quite muted. So it's just bare, if I listen hard, I could probably hear it. But since I actually got it open on the other computer over here, I turned off the speaker.
Well, I've got it open. I've got your live stream open on another device.
Okay.
So I can see the stuff over there, but I'm entering StreamYard through my phone here. And, but I haven't done many lives lately. And normally I'll copy the link and then go to Chrome and not mess with YouTube, but I'm out of practice.
Well, I'm honored to have you up here.
Hey, I don't have a face. It's just a voice. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I just got back in from walking the dog, and I heard you say something about who wants to come up. I said, you know what? I don't know that I've been up on Gil's Live before. No,
this is the first time, and I'm honored to have you up here. And
Thank
Carol's
you.
going, wee, Robert.
$5 will go a long way for some people.
Yeah.
How you doing, Lewis? Mr.
I'm
Marshmallow Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you watch that video?
I have not, dude. There's so many videos that I have to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I gave John a shout out because he, how on the drafts there, he couldn't say my last name and he gave me the Marshmallow name.
Yeah.
So I gave him a shout out because of it. Because he gave me I was sitting on it for a while and I just used my name for my channel, right? So I was thinking about it, and then Courtney and everybody was, you should change it. So I did.
That's a cool channel name. It's the Marshmallow Man. And like I say, let me see if I can do it this way here. Hang on a second here. Save images. Stay Puff ST. I want to name it right so I can find it easy. Next time, Stay Puff, and put it in this folder and save it, and it should come up big. And let me enlarge it just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. I want to just there we go. And here we go. There you go.
There we go.
And we got Tennessee Bushcrafter here. Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. How about y'all?
Yeah, it's today was an interesting day, but yesterday, well, okay, about 2 weeks ago, I bought a Ryobi 18-volt weed eater, and I've been using it around, and other than the line getting sucked in and pulling it tight, and I guys got to loosen it up every now and then. I also got the clip-on thing with the little two serrated blades on it that spin around. That's fabulous. But I only had one battery. So the battery, though, would give me probably 30 minutes of weed eating time out there, but it take 2.5, 3 hours to recharge. Well,
yeah, I've got those cordless tools, and
yesterday, several days ago I ordered, and yesterday they showed up a 2-pack of Ryobi batteries, the exact same one I have, and another charger, and then aftermarket, and the Ryobi batteries are 4.0 amp hour batteries. I ordered this other one, aftermarket one that's made for Ryobi, 6.0 amp hour batteries, and they're all so right now I got and I froze. I got 5 batteries in there that are charged up, ready to go tomorrow. So I can probably do, 5, maybe 6 hours, and more like 4 or 5 hours, I guess. 4 or 5 hours worth of weed eating. But as soon as the first one dies, and I go to swap out batteries, it goes in the charger, and I pull another one.
Gil, don't do that. Don't do that right away. Let it cool down.
Usually what I do is I come in, I toss it in the fridge, go use the bathroom stuff, come back out. By then it's cooled down. Yeah. And then I drop it in. And the thing is, the Ryobi one says you can drop it in hot. It just won't charge. It temperature senses it. So it's got smart chargers. But I try to cool it off first, toss it in there, go out and run some more. Then I'll bring the next one in, drop it in, take another one out. And so by the time I'm done with the last one, hopefully the first one is charged again.
Oh, yeah. I remember now most of the Ryobi tools I got. Now I got hand tools like drills, this, that, and the other, and a snake for my septic tank, right? So
yeah.
But it runs on a cord too. It doesn't run on. It can run on either a battery or a plug. And I remember the yellow and black batteries. They were bad. The lithium batteries are a bit better.
Yeah, the NiCad sucked, and then the hydrogen hydroxide, whatever. The next ones that came out were a little bit better. But the lithium ones they have now are so much better.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an early adopter. So I bought the rigid tools, battery tools, when they first came out. I went through like 9 drills within about 2 years. But now, I'm DeWalt all the way.
Yeah.
I have 15 DeWalt tools and 12 batteries.
I start my first cordless one was a 12-volt Porter cable, and that thing went forever and ever. And when the batteries finally died on it, I couldn't find batteries for it. So my wife found a great deal on Craftsman, and we're talking 15, 20 years ago, on their 19.2 C3 system. And she bought this big old kit for me, and it was absolutely fabulous. But it had the not the NiCad, but the screw it up, the hydroxide, whatever heck it is in there. And those, I was using those so much. We bought so many extra batteries for it, and then we bought a second set of tools and stuff. So I wound up with like 2 of the big heavy-duty half-inch drills and 2 of the 3/8 drills. I have two of the 4.5-inch blade trim saws. I got the cordless reciprocating saw, the jigsaw, the angled head drill, 2 different flashlight systems on it, a couple other tools as well that work on, sanders and other things that work on it. Yeah. And then when they came out with the lithium ion batteries for it, oh man, that was fabulous. And then Sears continued their stupidity. And if Sears had gone back to their roots when the internet came out, and beat Google, not beat Google, so beat Amazon to the online mail order stuff, because Sears used to be catalog all the time.
I know.
And if they had smart people at the time and gone immediately in trying to do what Amazon did,
you got to think about, Amazon had some of the best marketing people working for them.
Yeah, but
in the world.
If Sears had just gone full bore into the internet, I don't think Amazon would have made it, because Sears already had the name, and it would have been remember the Sears robot catalog where you just ordered it? Here you can do it online, and they could have done it. But anyways, they screwed up, and Sears sold off their Craftsman electrical line, tools and stuff, to DeWalt. And it froze again. So now the new Craftsman tools
And they're all owned by Stanley.
Yeah. And so my youngest son now, who's 20, so he'll be 23 in a month or so here, a couple months. He's been buying the Craftsman 20-volt tools, and actually did a bunch of stuff and found out that if you order a certain DeWalt charger, it's the exact same charger for the Craftsman, but it's like only 2/3 the price. So yeah, he's got all, and he's checking out all the Craftsman standards, all the tools and stuff, and finds out which and he's getting aftermarket batteries that will work on it, and the chargers and stuff that are not the full price Craftsman chargers, but basically the Craftsman chargers with the DeWalt name on it. I don't know what he's doing, but he keeps telling me what he's doing and stuff. It's like, okay, more power to you. Save money and just don't ruin anything.
Yeah, I tell you, Ryobi, though, in my opinion, I've worked with a feller. He was a general contractor, and he had like 12 tools way back when they were like brand new almost. And I mean, they held up. I mean, they weren't going to compete with a DeWalt, but they were consistent.
Yeah. And the only reason why I got this is because the first weed eater I got when I came up here was a Black & Decker, but it was a corded weed eater that Home Depot carried, and but it had the real cheap thin line in it. And it's I was constantly having to stop and redo a whole spool of line to be able to finish weed eating for the day. And then the next Saturday I'd have to start over with a fresh spool, and I go through 2 spools a day. But I'm dragging around a 100-foot extension cord or 150-foot extension cord to try to get the perimeter of the property. So I went in a couple of weeks ago and, wanted to upgrade something, even if it was another corded one, just because I wanted something that had more oomph to it. And they don't have any corded weed eaters anymore. It's all Ryobi cordless. That's the only thing that the Home Depot here in Idaho Falls has. And I either got the 18-volt or the 40-volt. Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, well, 18. Okay, well, I'm going to look at the 40-volt. I about had a friggin' coronary at the price.
Yeah.
It was like, you're shitting me. $379 for a weed eater?
That's the problem with DeWalt. They've got pretty much 3 lines going on. Well, 4 lines actually going on right now. They got their 12-volt, they got the 20-volt, the 40-volt, and then they got the 60-volt. 60/120-volt.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that price skill, you might as well go buy a still weed eater gas-powered one.
Now, this Ryobi is working great, and I went through some heavy stuff because with all the work I was doing with the backhoe and the track loader and everything else, getting everything done. There were some areas I just totally forgot to weed eat with the other one, and so I had a forest out there, and other than the one plant that was growing up there, I mean, it went through the star thistle, it went through the milkweed, it went through everything else that was hard, and it was, and I just, it went through it. And so I'm like,
all edible.
Yeah. Well, right now I want to try to control it so I can put my garden in it. But yeah, there's certain areas and stuff. Certain areas I'm letting the milkweed go because if the milkweed's growing there, it keeps the star thistle out. So I'm letting the milkweed grow on the perimeter on the one area and stuff. And that's where all the butterflies are going to.
Yeah, just watch milkweed, man, because that stuff spreads like crazy, and it's toxic to most livestock.
Yeah.
That milkweed, I heard you can put on cuts, and it's better than a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
The liquid stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some ad popping up on the when I'm watching people's YouTube's videos and they're monetized, and I get this ad up talking about this guy. Well, you take the milkweed stuff and you chop it up, you put it in a blender, and you do this to it, and then you cook it for a little while, and then you let it seep, and then you strain it out, and you got this liquid here, and this is what you want to do with it. For more information, click on the link below, and it's like. So they give you half the information and say, click on the link below.
Yeah. You start getting into watching any of that herbalism stuff, you start seeing silly stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I've got an old Black & Decker hedge trimmer, and I had my DeWalt scroll saw, which sits on like a little metal A-frame stand. I had it sitting there, and I went by it, and I hit the leg, and it locked up. And I've had this thing since I was probably like 18 years old. So, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I tore that thing open, and I was like, wow, this thing's got all metal gears, and everything's metal inside of it. Like, heck yeah, I'm going to rebuild that sucker.
Yeah. My youngest son, Matthew, I have a big Milwaukee, drill that has both the D-ring handle on it and the screw-in metal handle. So that's and the end of the plug had gotten run over. And so I cut it off, and I had I think it was about a 5-foot piece of 10 gauge extension cord. That was one of the ones that of the scraps when I used to work construction, that they were making something up, and they were cutting the ends off. And usually they're cutting off short, but they cut off a couple that were longer because that's all they needed. And so I picked those up, and I took those home, took them out of the trash and took them home. And so I put it on there. So now I had like an 8-foot cord on my drill. And he didn't realize, that was 10 gauge extension cord that I added to it. And so for Christmas 3 years ago, he went and bought a replacement cord for it, and he did all the work on it and got it all fixed. And it's like, oh, okay, yes, thank you very much. And I'm like, where's the old cord? Because when this one goes away, I want to put the other one on it. Or at least, if the end of this one breaks, I want to put that 10 gauge back on it. So I have the 10 gauge one just sitting out in the shop waiting for the other one in a couple of years to get damaged or whatever. But, the newer cord that he replaced the old part of the Milwaukee cord itself with is actually thicker, and he had a harder time connecting it because the insulation is thicker, the wire is thicker. And so, he finally called me and he goes, all right, I can't fix this. And so basically the rubber grommet that goes in the base of the handle, the hole was too small for the new cord to go through. So what I did is I told him, hang on, we take that. I took a wooden block, cut some notches out of it, clamped it in there. And then I took a step drill and just took it in from each side till it got to just about the right size. There's just a little bit in the middle, and then we pulled it through. It was just enough to really crimp on it and pulled it in there tight. So he was looking at me, go like, "How'd you know how to do that?" And I said, "My dad," because my dad taught me all sorts of neat stuff like that. But Milwaukee tools back in the day, I had several of them, and they got stolen out of the fuel truck when I was driving fuel truck. But those were good quality drills and stuff. Nowadays, it's they're plastic and
Nah, they're all questionable. I mean, you got some people loyal to red, and you got some people loyal to yellow. Whatever, they're all shipped in. Whatever.
Yeah. If you can find one of the old stuff, it's great. If my dad had an old Craftsman cased drill, and when my dad died, and my brother and sister were going through through his tools and stuff and everything else, and I knew my dad wanted to fix that, but they go, "Oh, this one doesn't work," and they threw it out, and it's like that drill was almost as old as I am, and it was one that if you rebuilt it would have lasted another 50 years. Don. Hey, Don's in the house. WD Glock. He's been in the side chat and on Courtney's, and I think he's been. Carol, when was the last time you saw Bruce out here on something? Oh, she said we'll be right back, so she stepped away. But I'm, he's for a while there, he wasn't even coming up in the side chats on a couple of them. And then last week, he was back to his good old snarky self. At least in the side chat, but he still hasn't come up on camera or anything. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Out here in the woods where I live, I don't get any kind of signal. So my voicemail doesn't load till I go to town, which happens as little as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to go to Nashville today, or yesterday, whatever you want to call it at this point. But seeing my older sister, she had left me a voicemail. I ain't heard from you in forever, blah, blah, blah. And apparently it was from like 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, it's because I kind of left Facebook.
Yeah, it's my new phone when I had to change to my phone. AT&T did an upgrade. And, do you have your voicemail? You have to have a password on it. I don't want a password. I want to be open it up and push a button. Oh, we don't allow that anymore because it's not secure. And I looked at the guy and said, this is secure because anyone but me who picks it up gets shot. And the guy paled and go, oh. Yeah, no one messes with my phone but me.
But you remember back in the day where you used to have to dial your own phone number to call your voicemail?
Yeah. And
I mean, it still worked. I know up till a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I tried doing that a couple weeks ago, and nope, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. When we switched from T-Mobile to AT&T, you just had a button you push on there, and it would call whatever. You didn't have to enter any special codes or passwords or any other crap, and it would just play voicemails. Well, what if you have somebody go? It's a voicemail. That's not like it's a Homeland Security phone where you actually have to stick your PIV card in there to retrieve stuff. No, and it's like you don't need to have. You're not sending cryptic document or voicemail crap. So there's no need for it. But yeah, that's another one of my pet peeves about the modern cell phones. You got to have passwords to do just about everything on them. If they ever make it where you got to have a password to make a phone call from them, that's when I don't have a phone. I'll say, screw it. You want to communicate with me? You got to send me an email.
Yeah,
Hey,
I don't check my email often. Go ahead.
Sorry. I got a question for you. Gil, you mentioned batteries plus before.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of dead deep cycle marine batteries
Mm-hmm.
and I'm planning on using those for a core charge.
Right.
But I'm wanting to look at those high powered lithium. What were they? Those
LiFo.
yeah, lithium
iron phosphate.
iron phosphate. Have you seen Batteries Plus have those in stock?
Don't think they carry those. Hang on, let me check here. Give me a second here.
Oh, you ain't got to do that.
No. It's a question. It's a question. I thought of it several times, but every time I get to the computer, I forget to check to see if they have lithium batteries.
I'm a retail kind of guy. I don't order anything online, but some things I may have to get what I want. That and solar panels.
Yeah.
I gotta try to find someplace local that sells solar panels.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, buying solar panels locally like that is probably going to cost you 50% more than buying them. Yeah, so
I'll have them delivered.
Iron. Okay, there it is. LiPo 4. Do they have it? Oh, come on. Actually, yes.
Get out.
Here, let me show you. Battery Plus has a lithium iron phosphate battery with 2 terminals. That's a small one though. That's only a 12 amp hour one, so that's a small one. But they just type in lithium iron phosphate. I'm not sure what the biggest ones. That's a smaller one. Battery has a 8 to 10 hour battery life that is up to 10 times the life of seal. So basically, you can run stuff off of the 8 to 10 hours, but the number of recycles on it is 10 times that of a lead acid battery.
Yeah, you were saying that those you were saying that the ones that you showed had like 50,000 cycles.
The Battleborn?
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. Had a V logo on it.
Hang on, let me see what we got here. All right, lists. Okay, I got that, and I got to go to solar. Down here to solar. Scout.
At this point, I'm worried about these places running out of stock.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be finding out left and right, and about what's coming if they hadn't already, and won't be able to get any possibly.
Here we go. Battleborn. This one here.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Yeah, this is 100 amp hour, whereas the one we were just looking at there from this one here is a 12 amp hour. This is 100 amp hour, so it's
$1,000.
800 and something. Yeah. So, but this here is 8 times the amp hours on it as the other one.
Yeah.
And 8, but it's only like 6.5 times as expensive as this one, but you get 8 times the power out of it.
Okay.
So that's where you got to figure, do your calculating. Okay, do I get a bunch of these little ones at a time here at 134, or I just go ahead and bite the bullet and I get one of these?
Yeah, I get one or two of those, and that'll be done.
Yeah.
I mean, just one of those would do me pretty well.
Yeah.
Most likely because I have very small electrical needs.
Okay. Now, okay. Ooh, okay. Hang on. I got to do the math here. Let me switch over here. Okay. Bring up my calculator.
Wait a minute. Did that say $5,000?
This is a 6-pack.
Oh, okay. That give me a heart attack. I don't need another one.
Come on. All right. So I got this over here. So I got 5244 divided by 6 equals 874. And yeah, so you don't get, all right, right now, there's no bonus off it because the single has an 8% discount on it right now off its normal price. That's why they're exactly the same. But this one doesn't have any discount off of it being a bundle. But this one here, you're getting a discount on it right now. And that's the thing is on Amazon here, I put stuff in a specific wish list, like this was from Solar, and I watch to see if the price drops on stuff before I buy it. And if the price goes up, I make a note, okay, or scribble on my notepad here, watch it for it. And if it ever drops below the price I put it in, I buy it. But yeah, so this is one of the things this is one of the ones I want to get, unless of course there is a company close by to me, well, close, down in Provo, Utah. So it's about a 2.5 hour drive away, that manufactures LiFePo batteries.
Oh, wow. Well, you got to hook up right there.
There's a channel, Red Poppy Ranch. He went from lead acid, and he did several videos on the new batteries, and went down to the place and had a video of him down there at the place there in Provo when he bought them, and talked all about their service department and stuff like that, and how they covered everything. They helped them out and stuff. Now let me jump back here. Come on, let's get going here. All right, power inverters, that's something else you got to look at, how much you actually use, and whether or not they are pure sine wave. And right now, all the pure sine wave ones are out. The good ones are out of stock. Okay, let's check some of these other ones here. I'm just scrolling down here and checking some stuff out here. All right, charge controllers. Crap, the good charger controller is out of stock. This is the 80 amp one. This is so you can get this one here, and you don't have to worry about problems, on just about any system you're doing, homemade system you're doing. And they're losing. Okay, those are out. Well, that's a special thing on something else. Yeah, but there's. You need to get a charge controller. However, if I go to this page here and I bring this up here, yeah, it's currently unavailable. It could be available tomorrow all of a sudden. Some of these ones that go unavailable, they'll be unavailable for a week or two. All of a sudden it's there. And the first day it's at the normal price. Second day it drops. Third day they're unavailable again because everybody bought them. But there's all the other different charge controllers. So this one here is an 80 amp charge controller. This is a 60 amp for $60. This is double voltage one. This is 24 volt or 12 volt. And I'm trying to see if I can find some of the other ones that I have gotten over the years here. They're just not showing. But that 81, I have two of the 30 amp ones of the same make as that 80. And those are my primary ones that I'm using right now. And basically when I was running two different solar panel systems, I had the one with 21 100-watt panels going through the one. And then I had the other one where I had a whole bunch of these old 15-watt panels. I think I had like 30 15-watt panels going through the other one. Just so they had they were two separate controllers charging the exact, two different types, but all those on those types were exactly the same. That way I wasn't, having mixing problems. But and those that were around, that when I was trying to figure out what happened to Manifestations of Imagination, Reed changed his channel name. And so I'm going to show you that too. For those, Reed has his house off grid. So he changed his channel here, capital REED, space, capital I, capital N. And it does also go channel. Boom. There it is. There, the one that has his face with his hat. That's Reed. And he's down there in New Mexico. And he still says, he still hasn't updated all the stuff on his page. It still says, welcome to MOI, which is Manifestations of Imagination. Did he update the About page? He had updated a little bit about there. He has solar power and everything else, talks about that stuff. But his videos talks about a lot of stuff on here. And he has a 12-volt deep well pump, runs on solar panel. So, yeah. And of course, there he is. He has the exact same. I have the kilowatt meter, and he tests and runs everything too. So, anyways, yeah. So that's Reed's channel. It's Reed space IN, and then you got to click on the filter there. You got to go to click channel, and it'll bring him up the first one.
I'll check him out.
Yeah. Reed is a real cool guy. He's a computer engineer and an electrical engineer. Yeah.
I won't be able to follow whenever he starts talking all that gibberish.
Oh,
and I understand sun and then a panel.
Yeah.
Actually,
he and I used to be on Will Russell's just-in-time prepping stuff on the Monday Night Roundtable for several years and everything else. And sometimes when, I'm a Class A general engineering contractor. I've had a lot of electrical stuff. There were times I'm listening to him, and when he takes a breath, I go, time out, Reed. Go back and explain this, and this again. And then he goes back and explains it in more common language. But yeah, this guy is very sharp. If I'd known he was down in New Mexico, I might have chosen New Mexico to go live at, just so I could be near him.
He's got the sunlight down there for sure.
Oh yeah, and he's even has a garden down there in the desert, and he has a off-grid water heater that he heats all the water for his house, and he's engineered a multiple stage mixer on it. So yeah, if you're ever having to go off-grid, that's the guy to talk about. Exactly. Prepping to endure. Yeah, I'm so miss Will. Will was absolutely awesome. He helped so many channels. He taught me all about StreamYard. He taught me how to set up live streams and do them, and I miss him. To me, he was like an uncle. Exactly. He should have called it Read Off Grid, but he changed it to Read IN for. Does he say why he chose Read IN? He hasn't put out a video since he changed it. He just changed it recently. So I'm just seeing if he says anything on here. Yeah, he hasn't updated his thing. His last video he put out was 7 months ago. He's been working they've been working him to death at work. And he's been, he's one of their main IT guys setting stuff up, all the computers and stuff, and networking, not just where he is in New Mexico, but networking, setting the network up at other locations across the U.S. Tibor's going to go tonight. All right, Tibor, sorry. We got into the deep stuff, and yeah. So, it's 12:30 here, my time now. Which means
I appreciate you helping me out there. I just want to do the last things. I'm wanting the solar panel system, and if I don't get it now, I feel like with what we've got going on, might not get it too easily.
Yeah, let me show you something else here real quick here. Reed was using the crap. I always pronounce it wrong. Reno G, whatever. System.
Yeah.
And lately, we talked a couple times, and off of Amazon, and he didn't say about Amazon. He just said Rich Solar is where he's getting his new panels from. They cost less, and Reed says they are better built.
Okay.
And so, like this one here, for a 100-watt, 12-volt monocrystalline is $93 rounded up, $93. Scroll down here, and so the other ones here, open it in a new tab here right next to it. These have come down too. Dang, a couple months, this Reno G was up to 120, and it's down almost as cheap as the. So it's $5 more than the other one, but he says it's a better quality panel than this one. A lot of people go with this because this is the name brand everybody knows about. Like
I don't want to go with any Harbor Freight stuff. I know that.
Yeah. Harbor Freight panels are not monocrystalline. They're begins with an A. Yeah. And so I know Garden Girl's in the house. Hey, how you doing? So here's what's weird. Believe it or not, the lifespan on monocrystalline is shorter than the lifespan on those ones from Harbor Freight. However, the drop-off rate of efficiency is greater it drops off quicker on those ones from Harbor Freight, those amorphous, whatever.
Yeah.
As compared to the monocrystalline or the polycrystalline.
Well, what are we looking at for lifespan of these monocrystalline? Because I know jack nothing about the panel.
Yeah, let me see here.
I mean, I hear all the words and I've heard them before, but
yeah,
their battery life's going to be the shortest span.
Yeah, your battery life is the shortest thing, and of course now with the
even them $5,000 batteries you're looking at probably a maximum of 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
that's in optimum temperature controlled conditions.
Well, we get awful hot around here.
Yeah. All right. This one here has a warranty. The Rich Solar one has a 25-year limited power output warranty, 5-year material and workmanship warranty. So it says you'll have 25 years. They'll have your output warranty, and that's if I remember right, that's 80% of what it's rated at. So by 25 years, you'll still be it'll be like it's rated for 80 watts instead of 100 watts.
Well,
now,
for 25 years, that's probably all I need for a lifetime.
Yeah. Let me go back here on this here. Shoot. Battle BORN. Battery. There we go. So where's the Battleborn? Okay, the Battleborn says 3,000 to 5,000 recharge, life cycle. So if you take it down all the way. Now here's something neat I found out about it from not only Reed but from Ben Gilmore. If you take this battery and you take it dead and recharge it again 3,000 times, its life cycle isn't dead. It's that it's only at 75 to 80% capacity of what it was when it was new. So it still has several years on it. But most people aren't going to be taking it down. If you're charging it, you're taking it down just a little bit, And so you got to do a whole bunch of these little bits to do one full cycle.
Okay, so it doesn't count the little bit cycles. It just counts all the little bits as a whole cycle.
Yes. So if you take it down 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, you have to do that 50 times for it to be one cycle.
Now, does that include recharging the 2%?
Yes.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Well, those things will last. Those things will last a long time.
Yeah, if you have enough batteries in the proper system, those things will last 30 years.
Shit. That's doing pretty good.
That's 60 to 70 degrees.
Yeah, and that's key. So you keep that like the best. If you have a basement, you it down in the basement in its own little box that's vented to the outside. Because this is not. I'm sorry. I was thinking the lead acid has to be vented. These do not have to be vented to the outside. So you have it in your basement. So you're keeping it at 60, 5 degrees or so in the corner of the basement.
I could build that. Yeah, I could put that in a. I need a storm shelter anyhow. I could do that and have those down there. And that'd be good because above ground we don't run the AC or anything, so it gets pretty doggone hot.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I just gotta get them here and get them to my property.
Yeah.
And I picked up an extra CPAP mask yesterday, and I got another one on order. The whole supply chain and everything.
Yeah.
There's no telling what they're going to do. And then they popped up with this oil thing I don't want to say too much about it, the big rig with the oil. And they're saying 8 weeks supply left or something.
Now, that's not counting the actual reserves that are hidden across the United States. And the problem with this is with the oil reserves and stuff, and it's one of these points that just pisses me off no end, is that the Department of Energy was created to keep this it was originally created to make sure that for oil, it's meant for domestic oil and exploration, and to keep us from becoming dependent on foreign oil. You see how that did it after a certain president who shall remain nameless got in there and twisted it all around and started doing just the opposite with it about 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. Sorry.
It's kind of a mess. It's really kind of a mess.
Yeah.
What shape we're in now.
Here's how screwed up that whole thing is. There was an expedition thing funded back in the 70s, late 70s, mid to late 70s, 76, 77, 78 in the Gulf of Mexico. They were out there doing deep drilling, looking for deep water. Don't know why, but they were looking for deep water fresh water in the Gulf of Mexico. And they were also doing deep water, looking up into the Gulf states and stuff, trying to find, I guess, under aquifers or whatever. They had to shut down the exploration out there in the Gulf because every well they sank, they hit oil. And what'd they do? Once they hit oil and stuff, they stopped drilling, pulled back up, pumped concrete down in there, plugged it off, and moved on. So, and then the government says that's our oil. So the oil companies can't drill a ramp near in so many, whatever, from all these different wells that they were sinking looking for water that they discovered oil in.
But they'll let other people drill. People from different countries, they'll let them drill.
But not near these oil, not near these.
Not near those special ones, huh?
Yeah, because those are now part of the military.
There's some. I used to try to learn all this stuff, but the rabbit holes are so deep and so many that my brain just exploded and says, "Oh, no more! I can't hear no more."
Yeah, that's back when I graduated in '75 from high school, and I was planning on going in the military. And my plan when I graduated high school was go in the military, get a bunch of training, and get connected up with a certain 3-letter agency, because both my cousins were involved with that 3-letter agency over in Vietnam and Laos. But they stayed in the military, but they were dealing with this 3-letter agency as the military liaisons and scouts and stuff. And I wanted to be an agent for this 3-letter agency until my brain got fried with all the facts. And it was like, oh crap, I'm not going to go to that agency. And so I went to the sheriff's department, did stuff, worked construction, got my contractor's license and all this stuff. And I still wound up going to a 3-letter agency, but on a different level. Domestic, not foreign.
Problem is the world's got way too small.
Yeah. But,
you're right. It is small.
Yeah.
In comparison, it's fixing to be a mess with everything that I'm seeing, all of the stuff that they're talking about, and I keep hearing this, are we getting close to a recession? Do y'all think a recession is right here? I'm like, have you not been paying attention? And can you not see, there's people out there still thinking this is all going to blow over. And they just look at one thing. And we've got so many things that would be disastrous that would, if it happened, it would be disastrous to our society. And we've got several of those things happening all at once.
Yeah.
And people don't see the need to be concerned enough to start prepping. That's what's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
That they're so far up their own butts or whatever else that they're doing.
No, they drank the Kool-Aid that says, oh, we're the government. Drink this. We'll take care of you.
That's right.
I don't really think it's all that. Personally, I think a lot of it is people are too comfortable in their lives.
Yeah. Well, I know that.
Complacency.
That complacency and But I know some people that have said to me, "Why are you prepping? The government's going to take care of us if everything falls apart."
They're going to take care of you, all right. They're going to take care of you. Hey,
they'll take care of you when they take care of you. They take care of you.
Yeah, they're going to take care of you. I appreciate you letting me up here, brother. I'm going to jump down off your panel.
All righty. Thanks, Robert.
And thank you very much for showing some more detail on all that stuff and doing everything. I'm going to jump down and probably go to bed pretty soon. But
I saw on Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, I'm doing the my 2,500 subscriber giveaway, and then I got a quick mail call I'm going to do. I may spend the rest. I may go back and try to explain some basics on electricity, and in the last half of it on Monday.
I've started recording all that stuff, Gil. That 3-part video said I was going to work on.
Cool. But I'll just give some elementary school electricity basics on DC versus AC.
Yeah. And, Tesla versus Edison.
Yeah.
Tesla was the man. Edison. It's like Steve Jobs versus Bill Gates. And Steve Jobs was the genius, and Bill Gates got all the glory, got the money.
Well, yeah. Tesla and Steve Jobs were the engineering guys. Edison and Gates knew how to manipulate the system.
That's exactly. They knew about market share.
Yes.
Tesla and Jobs didn't care too much about market share.
Yeah.
But y'all gonna that is get me started preaching.
All them super intelligent people, they were just a hair from insanity. So
here's an interesting fact for you about Windows.
No
Microsoft did not develop Windows. Xerox Corporation developed Windows and gave it away because they did not understand. They didn't understand the significance of it and how it could be used. And their CEO said, "Why are we working on this? That's not going to work it has nothing to do with our copiers and printers and stuff." And they gave it away to Microsoft.
That's right.
I remember traveling across the country when I was a younger person and still seeing Macintosh corporations everywhere.
Yeah. And Steve Jobs basically stole the GUI from, Bill Gates stole GUI from Steve Wozniak, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Steve was the one that developed that, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time. Or was it? I don't know. Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, and then whatever Wozniak's first name was. But I used to be a Big Mac guy, and it used to break me out real bad just looking at Bill Gates. Just hated that man. And you know what? I think that was a well-founded feeling. You look at what all he's doing.
They were both Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak.
Okay, there we go. Can't ever tell when old man brain is kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I promise to leave. I'm going to go now.
All right.
Y'all be good.
Okay.
See you later.
Talk to you, Robert.
All right, buddy.
Easy, Robert.
Bye, Lewis.
Yeah, see you later.
Idaho Garden Girl has it.
There you go.
I want a socket and a plug and voila.
There's your basic electricity class right there.
Yeah. Well, where I started learning about electricity, it was before I was 12, and it was in a Reader Digest book. It was the Reader's Digest. It was it wasn't a normal shaped book. It was a longer, flatter one, about the shape of our little windows here. And you opened it up, and it was hang on a second here. So I got them both. I've got it set aside to gift. I buy one for my son because he's learning more about that stuff. The Reader Digest Complete Do-It-Yourself Manual, and and that's where I learned how to do 3-way and 4-way switches. Learned about back then at the time it was 110 and 220. Now it's 120 and 240.
Yeah, it's always been the same. It depends who you talk to.
Yeah, but yeah, how to do plumbing, And that book taught me so much, and I've read through it, I don't know, hundreds of times, going through it, looking stuff up and reading on it as a pre-teenager and as a teenager. And the price has dropped 22% on it. Okay, folks, I'm going to throw something up here for you because the price here has dropped 22% from the time I put it into the.
I agree, Robert.
So the hardcover is $27. It was, when I put it in, it was $30. Oh crap! I mean, it doesn't show because I went out of it. Let me go back here. It was $32 when I put it on my wish list. It's $25 now. So, and that's for the hardcover. And then they got there's a newer edition of this item for $18. I think is that. Let me open this up this way. That hardcover. Now hardcover is $18. Yeah, so they got a newer edition. I have a feeling it has less crap in it. But you can also get it on Kindle too.
And speaking of old school stuff, my 9-year-old, he loves his Rubik's Cube. I bought him when he was 6.
Okay, they're showing the Kindle version of that. I don't want to see the Kindle version. I want to see the other one because sometimes they'll tell you how many pages are in it.
That's one thing that aggravates the crap out of me about Kindle. You would think if you have a Kindle that you would get a huge discount for getting a digital version.
Well, it depends on the author.
I mean,
some of the books hard copy, like this one here, it's not that much different. But some of the books I've gotten on Kindle was like a tenth of the price of the hard copy.
Well, I mean, I'm subscribed to a few things, come to my email every day and, 99 cents for this or whatever. But it's also, a lot of them are like series. So, yeah, get the first one for 99 cents or for free. But you got to buy the next 15 for $17 a piece. But real good books,
yeah,
there's not a whole lot of difference.
Okay. All right. The older one here, they're not giving me the peek in of it. So the new version here for $18, it has 517 pages in it, and then 18th page is the index, where the index starts. So, all right. It may not. They may have totally. They may be using smaller print too. Yeah, they may be using smaller print. Yeah, it talks about water regulators, shut-off valves, gas, all sorts of neat stuff in it. Like I said, I love this book. How to do a septic tank, how to fix toilets. Yeah, a lot of the stuff I learned and used. My mom got the first book out. The first year it was out was 1973. No, it can't be 7. It can't be right. It had to be earlier than that. But yeah, because I was reading it and before we went to there. So yeah, there had to be an maybe they just changed the name when they did it and started then. But anyways, there was because I was reading through it, damn, in Tahunga, and so that was 68, 69. So
I'm a major book addict.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a full library, I guarantee it'd be packed probably 2 times over.
Yeah. I got so many friggin' hard copy books, and it just I got series of novels and stuff. Then I got all these research ones and all these other ones and stuff. And it's just like, carrying my Kindle around is sometimes so much easier to read, but I've duplicated some of the books I've had because the paper books got damaged, and so I bought the Kindle versions of it, so I'm not damaging my existing paper ones, and they're there to show my kids and grandkids. All right, see, this is how I first got this book. Here it is now in the electronic version that you guys are getting.
You got to watch Amazon too, because, like, for instance, I have one mushroom book for the Southeast. I've priced that thing on Amazon for like $125. It's a hardback, very well-known authors. I'm not going to say titles or anything, but
right.
But I've priced it for $125, and it sat in my daggone cart for, I know, 3 years, and I watched it bounce all over the place. You know, $10 up, $10 down. I got that thing for $55.
Generally, if I have something sitting in the cart, I start complaining if they don't process and send it through.
No, I had it in my save for later.
Oh, save for later. Okay. Yeah, I do that too on my cart, on my save for later.
Yeah, mine's about 700 long, probably right about now.
Oh, amazing! I had an item in my save for later. Drop $3.60.
Yeah.
Those are the brads. I need to get more of those too. Those are for my Craftsman Brad nailer. These are those are the one.
Yeah. I've got one. It's a Brad / crown staple nailer.
Yeah. Hey, hang on. This thing dropped that much. I'm going to get it right now. Place the order. Yeah, it dropped that much. I'm getting it there.
Here we are. We have went from Grayman Prepping to Shopping with Gil.
Oh, that's Grayman Prepping. Shopping with Grayman for your needs and stuff. And that's the thing, that's something, actually for preppers, and that's one of the things my wife didn't get for the longest time, why I had so many wish lists. Until I showed her one time, okay, well, what do you want to know? And she goes, well, you just go, you put something, you see something, you buy it. And I showed her, how long has this been on my wish list waiting for me to get? And she looked at it, she goes, crap, you've had that in over 5 years. Yeah, I'm waiting for the price to fluctuate to a certain point. When it drops below this point here, then I will get it. Then she stopped harping at me about it.
Yeah, I've got stuff that's been in my cart for over 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I was buying off Amazon when they were books only.
Yeah.
But, a lot of people are anti-Amazon anymore.
Ooh, amazing. Earlier, were you here at the beginning when I was reading the news articles?
I think I may have missed the first 10, maybe.
Okay, when I was talking about the Supreme Court decision, and anyways, it's on the patch system of news things, and usually each city has its own franchise, if you want, for it. So Martinez Patch was where my wife still lives in Martinez in California, so that's the one I'm signed up for. And it was talking about, I made a comment on it because they led off the article with the banner of dangerous decision, and my comment was, and I'll read it to you, this was not, all caps, a dangerous decision. As the headliner leader stated, making citizens helpless does not make them safer, because making citizens helpless by taking away their rights to bear arms does not make bad guys harmless. And I was expecting all sorts of flack on that comment. There's only been one reply on it, and it was, right? Seems like the Claremont patch has been leaning left for a very, very long time, and she's got the emoji of the red face with the hashtag and all the things across the mouth. So I actually found a right-wing person in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who's watching it, who subscribed to it too, that said, "Yes, you're good." I'm amazed. Because usually everyone that replies back is from all the different, Berkeley, San Francisco, all the different, really liberal wingnut idiots around there, and they just can't stand anytime anybody says anything that's makes sense. Anyways, yeah. So that was the thing that Steve and I talked about that in depth for a while about the decision there.
I do think the first video I'm gonna edit though is probably gonna be my book video.
Cool.
Foraging and whatnot. Plan ID.
So that means like you're writing a book on this stuff?
No, I ain't writing nothing.
Okay.
Actually, when I was younger, I actually thought about it. I used to write a lot when I was a kid, but no, I don't write anymore. I type.
Yeah.
But
Let's Carol. My book that I have might have basic electrical and it's a practical problem solver from Reader's Digest. Yeah, it might have some good stuff in there. I understand there's a lot of people that really like that book, Carol.
Yeah, you're right, Carol. The criminals, like they could put all these gun rules, this, that, and the other. But you know what? The criminals, they don't care. They
yeah, it's all right. Here, example on that.
yes,
And I see this mine pop up all the time. A meme, whatever it's called. Detroit passed so many got all these gun laws and stuff. It's illegal to own a gun in the city of Detroit. Blah 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 blah. And then it said Maine passed law. All these other laws, pro-gun laws. Number of killings in Detroit, and it has the number for the year. Maine, 0. And it's like, killing by gun is 0. And it's like, tell me again how gun control works. That's the meme. And that's just it. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what laws you pass. If a bad guy wants to get a gun, he's going to get it or he's going to make it. Because I don't know if everybody remember what a zip gun is.
Yeah, Saturday night special.
Yeah. Because
blow me up for a second. Here, blow me up for a second.
You're freezing up bad.
Okay, well, blow me up.
Hang on. All right.
You see that there?
Yeah.
That's my 22, and I'm standing right by my back door. It sits there, it does nothing. It's not going to nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bullet in it. It sits there. The safety's on. It's not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
What a lot of people don't realize is, all right, the zip gun, basically a like a piece of pipe, 3/8 or half-inch diameter, half-inch water pipe, whatever piece of it. Some screw-on fittings and stuff, and some rubber bands, and a ball bearing, and you can make yourself a zip gun.
I was just talking to my father today. He's a retired electrician too. Maybe a couple more years experience than me. But anyway, I was telling him about this feller I was working with, ironically, right outside of Detroit. And me and this feller, we used to joke around all day long, but we got the job done. But I showed him how to make a blowgun out of a piece of 1/2-inch EMT, which is electrical metallic tubing, for anybody not in the know, and them round wire nuts, which are kind of hard to find anymore. Now they have the little wings on them. And you take a self-tapper and drive it through the end of the wire nut. It'd go through daggone 1/2-inch board. And I guarantee you that's going to be more dangerous than...
Yeah. And here's the other thing. And Steve, if Steve was still up here or around, Steve could, say how true this is. Prisons, people in prisons, not allowed to have weapons, right? These are weapons made in prison.
A toothbrush. That's all they need.
Yeah. A plastic spoon is all they need.
Yeah,
They make all these ones out of toothbrush. You got toothbrushes here and pencils and stuff. I like the staple gun. The staple gun. They took a stapler and turned it into a 22 pistol. All these types of weapons are made in prison.
Good night, Gear.
All right, see you later, Gear. And there are lots and lots of type weapons they've made in prison that are just, phenomenally scary. They get dental floss to wrap around stuff, and they can make crazy stuff.
In all technicalities, I could turn my didgeridoo into a giant blowgun.
Heck, you get a couple. You get 2 different sized straws, and and you wrap the toilet paper around the smaller straw till it just barely fits in the other one. You got yourself a good one. And once you're out of shooting, whatever you're shooting, that you can still stab somebody with that. And since it's got a hole in it, it's like squirt.
It's asinine, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. There's so many weapons out there that aren't considered weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, look, air rifles. You can buy a 50 caliber air rifle.
Yeah.
And knock something down at, 300 yards. Big game.
Yeah. The
and they're legal everywhere.
Yeah. The video I saw, which was first mind blowing on it, was from one of the gun shows. Air Force, being the name of the rifle manufacturer,
right,
was showing their Texan in 357, and the guy there that was showing videos of him hunting with it and bringing down deer and bear.
Yeah, and like that air bow I told you about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not technically considered a weapon.
Which is why I want to get a couple of these pre-charged pneumatic rifles before they classify them as weapons.
Yeah. They're so daggone expensive.
I think they're more, if they're going to be coming down on the guns, like hard, I think it's the fully automatics, the assaults, certain particular guns. I think the hunting rifles would be like one of the very, if not the last gun, you know what I mean? For like whether it's a 12 gauge or a 30 odd, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Lewis, the thing is, like with them PCP rifles, you're talking super high velocity, full caliber rifles,
Yeah.
But there's no gunpowder in them, so they don't really classify them as rifles. And a 15-year-old kid can go in there and buy one.
Yeah. With the pre-charged pneumatics, a lot of stores will not sell pre-charged pneumatics to anyone under 18. Just as a
I may
safety
be wrong
thing.
on that part,
Yeah.
but
And it depends on the state.
I bet you they could order them online now.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I know up here in Canada, 18. Like I've got a couple of pellet guns, right, for squirrels and that, right? Got to be 18.
Yeah. And most states are adopting for the air rifles and pellet rifles, 18 as well. There's still some that you can get at 16 or 14, but
that's not right. Like heaven far be for me to make a law or whatever, but that's just not right. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
I remember running around 8 years old. It's like, y'all know Ragnarok.
Okay.
I've talked to him about, I remember me being 8, 9 years old, running around BB gun wars.
Yeah.
We built forts.
You put on extra layers of clothes and safety glasses.
And you come home with welts everywhere.
Yeah.
I hope they only pumped it one time.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember back in the 60. Can we move back down to LA in 66? Christmas 67. Just about every kid in the neighborhood seemed to have got a Daisy rifle.
Yeah.
Oh man, we were shooting each other all the friggin' time. Nobody lost an eye.
Yeah. Well, times are changing. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with like respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really do. People don't respect each other. I mean, you see it. I mean, everywhere. Just driving down the road, you see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off, peeling you. I don't care where you're going, what's going on in your life. Whatever.
Yeah.
People are buttheads. Trying to watch my mouth. I really am.
Yeah, I remember my parents could leave. This was back in the 80s, okay? You'd put your kids down for a nap, your little toddlers. My parents had a hard time getting me to go to sleep. So what they would do was put me in the car, put the baby monitor in there and everything, turn the car on, and that's how they'd get me to go to sleep, right? You could
white
that
noise and vibration.
Yeah, for whatever reason it was, right? Go back in the house and cook dinner, do this, whatever the case may be. Not a worry. Do that today. Forget Children's Aid taking your kid away from you.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Somebody might take your kid or something.
I remember us going on vacation when I was real young. And I was laying up in the back dash, and Dad's like, I don't know, 76, 77 Impala, which, you can fit 6 dead bodies in the back of that thing.
Yeah.
I remember going almost all the way to Florida, laying up in the back dash, and my sister standing up in the back seat.
I remember the 1957 Bel Air car that my parents had did not have any seat belts in it.
Yeah.
And then the next car we got, I can't remember. Trying to remember what it was. Was that the Oldsmobile station wagon? Yes. Had lap belts only, and they were the ones with the like the old the original airline ones, where you had the thing up and you had to stick the material through, pull it, and it would pinch down on a cam lock, pinch down on it.
Nah.
And then the next one we had that had seat belts on it was the 71 Ford Galaxy 500, and the shoulder harnesses that were separate. So you had the lap harness, and if you want to, you could then unclip the shoulder harness, bring it over, clip it on, and you would adjust it to fit. And the clip on it was basically in the part that went into the clip on it. It had metal clip. It had a hole in it and a little slot thing. And so you drop on the shoulder when you bring it over, you stick that in there, and it would slide and lock in the part that came across the lap. So you could actually leave it in there and just take it and do that. And so you had the front seat, the back seat, and in the back of the station wagon, it had the fold-up seats that sat facing each other, and that you could sit 2 kids in back there. And most of the time, we would be back in there, and we'd have 2 kids sitting in there facing each other, and 2 more piled on that little deck between them and the back seat.
Yeah, Aquarius said something about riding in the back of the truck. I remember working for a couple of different property maintenance guys, but one of them did snow removal in the winter, and in a pickup truck, and he'd get a bucket full of sand and salt, and in the back of the truck, and I'd stand in the back of the truck in minus 15 and 20 weather. Shoveling all that salt out.
Well, I remember as a teenager, after I graduated in 75, we moved back to California, and people were still riding around in the back of pickups, and nobody was getting pulled over. And we actually put I got into the junkyard and got a couple of seats out of the back of some cars that actually that bolted down, and we put those in the back of the pickup, and just so we have 2 bench seats facing backwards, and we have 6 people in seats and a couple more sitting in the bed behind, at the very back by the tailgate. Yeah. And we'd have 5 people crammed in the front seat, and we'd go to the $3 a carload drive-in, and we get around to the point.
Have a drive-in,
and we would back in facing the back end was facing the movie screen. Drop the tailgate, and under the seats we had a couple folding chairs. We pull them out. And so the people that were in the front seat would sit then in the folding chairs. And so we'd have a massive amount there. We drove right by the police station, by the police cars. They never said boo to us. Then several years later, the California passed a law. You can't ride in the back seat of a car unless you have seatbelts.
But you know what's the real? Trying to find the words. The real ticker of it all is now you get caught with a dog riding around in the back of the truck. It's a felony.
Yeah, it depends on the state, because here in Idaho, people ride around. They got their work dogs riding around either in the back of the truck, or if they have the the 1 tons and the larger.
If you get the one right person that calls, and says it's animal abuse, that's where it's all going to go south. I don't care what state it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think fortunately around here, someone calls like that and reports that to the police. The person may be getting written up for making a false report. They'll have the flatbed pickups. They don't have a regular pickup bed. They got a flatbed for the gooseneck trailers or whatever. And I've seen many truck driving around with 1 or 2 work dogs laying on that deck.
I mean, Tennessee is a big agricultural state. And I mean, I can give you the name of my town that's, we live outside of. And you can look, and it's all woods and agricultural. But we got this one old man. He rides around with this one dog and bark, 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 bark all the time, back and forth through town.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody calls law, but you go to the next town over, which is a college town. Yep, that's where stuff starts going south.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Hey,
probably
Denier, how's it going?
most likely because it's a college town and some of the college kids are drinking and this and that and the other with their dogs in the back of the truck. Like
Probably
Well,
because the professor, a
that
lot of
col-
professors are nuts.
that specific college town, I guess it's been maybe, say, around 8 years ago. They made international news because I guess there was somebody robbed a bank or something, like down in Florida or something. And, we're like right off the interstate. And they came through and they seen some dollar bills fly out of the car or whatever, pulled them over. Big old German Shepherd gets out barking at them, and they shoot the German Shepherd. So the cops were, under scrutiny. So that happened in that town. And I think that's why a lot of that happened up there.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been over 3 hours and 20 minutes here. And I got to get up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours.
Yeah, that was me yesterday. And I'm still up.
I got to get up and head in Idaho Falls. And got
Suburban Hillbilly, that was not Knoxville, that was in Cookville.
Yeah, well, I gotta get down and because I gotta cut the lawn tomorrow.
All right.
Also,
So
gardens.
just to remind everybody, on my Camp Patton Family Compound, the 25 subscriber giveaway is on Monday. And you have until Sunday night to register for it. And now it's been about a month old that the giveaway video is in there. And you got to follow the rules. So if you haven't had a chance to go over there, you got a couple days to do that. And so with that, we're going to wrap it up here.
All right. I'll see you later, Bill.
Remind everybody, don't freeze like I just did. Stay happy no matter what life throws at you.
I'm good.
All right. Stay
As
safe.
Gear would say.
Yeah. You have a good one. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Stay safe. Don't do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicine, skills, pew-pews, freedom seeds, all the other fun stuff. And we will see you on Monday.